And it did. School's beating my ass. Nice, but I went out to eat with my boyfriend and got super drunk at a girl's birthday party. I'm so happy for you. You have a social life now. You know, it wasn't always that you had a social life, Noogles. So I'm really, really happy for you. You know? Okay, let's go over to Farm Heroes. I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back. Yeah, you're a big girl now, even though you're like 4'11" on a good day. Alright, I'm gonna grab myself a chocolate bar, grab myself some water, and then we're gonna get our butts ready for the Mythic Heroes. Oh my god. I don't want to work too hard tonight, because if I'm not careful tomorrow, I'll have no energy to stream on time. I, of course, am a refined gentleman. I only eat black chocolate, no sugar, from the finest cocoa of the Caribbeans. That's the only chocolate I partake in. Dark chocolate's superior. Okay, we got 2 minutes. I got some Reese pieces. Reese cups. I wish I had dark chocolate. I'm supposed to have some. I just don't know where they are. Oh no, did he die? I was grabbing some water and Reese pieces before we started. Oh, I should run the ad right now, so we don't have to get interrupted when the trailer comes out. Welcome to stream, everybody! Hi. I missed you all. I already did a face stream earlier in the day, and we already put 3 hours of time into oh crap, I gotta do this. I put 3 hours of time into Brownest 2, But yeah, it's been a long night already. Don't forget, United Warfront is finishing. Yeah, what are you looking for, Ty? Did he die? Well, aren't all vampires dead anyways? Let's remove the Fjorm. I think a Celica's fine. Oh, it's 11! They released it 1 minute early. Wow! They released it 1 minute early. What? What is this nonsense? Okay, guys, I know you're like, oh, you're overreacting, just 1 minute. But you want to know something? You can't release it 1 minute early. Unless you manually release it. That doesn't make any sense. They manually released it a minute early. Or, because you okay, sorry. I'll explain this for those who don't understand. For YouTube, you can't schedule a video to be seconds, right? It's either like, say 10:59, 11, 11:01. You can't do like 10:59, 30 seconds in. You cannot schedule seconds. And because the time wasn't 11 yet and they had released it, they released it around 10:59, 38 seconds in, which means that they manually released it. And you might be like, well, what's the big deal of that? That's friggin' weird. is the deal. That means they didn't set it to automatic release at 11. They manually, for whatever reason, released it 32 seconds early. I've never seen a company that like consistently just does like little weird things. And that's not such a big problem in this case, but they do this in every case. Like, hey, it's April Fool's, and then they're 30 days late, you know? Or hey, it's the Fate channel for Brave Heroes, and then they release it 10 minutes late. It's just weird. Like they've been doing like these little weird things over and over again. I just don't understand why. All right, I have it downloaded. Let's get ready. To be clear, it's not that big of a deal. But as someone who actually does make videos, or at least made videos in the past, it's hard not to notice how strange it is that they do stuff like this. It really starts to sound like you picking on every little thing they do. I don't think the other things are little. It's weird because you should be scheduling your videos. A normal gaming company would just schedule their videos. They wouldn't manually release them. But the other things I mentioned were a lot bigger of a deal. Like again, the Choose Your Legends Fate channel is the biggest Fate channel of the year. So why can't you release that on time? You know, like that should matter. Okay, whatever the case is, it's downloaded. Let's do it. By the way, I could also say nothing about it, but we had like 1 minute to kill before we started, and since this was on my mind, I was just talking about it. Is that Chris Woods? How you been, man? I need to... People don't understand. Sometimes I'm ranting because I need to buy time. Which we need to buy time because I need to download the video. Alright. You haven't played Fate in a long time? Don't come back. I don't, to be honest. I'm not even sure if Farm Heroes will last through next year. It'll last through this year, but I'm not sure it'll last through next year. Alright guys, let's do it. I had my free ring cosplay on, and holy shit, my ears hurt from these earrings on Sadie. That's great and all, but we have Mythic heroes, and that's much more important than your cosplay. Haha, I'm sorry. Let's go. All right, guys. Welcome to the biggest... Oh, maybe we should do it here. Welcome to the biggest Mythic Heroes trailer of the year. Which, by the way, it's a loaded question because it's heroes, and there's only Though I guess they might do more of these in the future. But still, there's like 1 or 2 choices. So how does it feel to be 1 of 2? Or 2 of 2? You know what I mean? It's not that big a deal. Anyways, let's see. There's a lot of expected heroes because every year at November we get the OCs being released. And I think this year the OCs weren't really interesting. They haven't released like Snake Girl and Hawk Girl, for example. So there's much more interesting characters. And there's like no time left to release them. So it'll be a mystery to see who. And I guess here we go. Let's be surprised. So for the best. The new Mythic hero joins the battle. There's Hirschfeld. Whining Blade.
Whether saving a life or ending it, the function of a blade is the same.
I don't want to start this on the wrong foot, but I need to say it. Of all the characters in this book thus far, I find her the most boring. This is the one I think is the hardest one to do right, because Beast Flyers have just been completely on a downward trend. Remember the last time they tried it with Elm? That went terribly. Anyways, VA, Justine Lee, Ars Kozaki Yusuke. It's just the design's not exciting, the personality's not exciting. I know there's a backstory and all, and a lot of that. They always try to make everyone have a tragic backstory. That's how Fire Emblem tries to like get you to care about characters, but this is the hardest one to sell. Light Mythic. Clawing Claw, Nimble Beast. Attack Speed, Fortune, SD Near Trace 4, Divine Talent. We gotta read through all that. She has a perf skill, that's good. When facing strengthened foes, this healing hand slashes him with an overwhelming amount of damage. Oh, wait. Was that her stats? One sec. Am I crazy? Oh wait, it's gonna show her stats anyways.
At your command.
We didn't need to do that. Anyways, 40 HP, 61 attack, 48 speed, 36 defense, and 25 res. And since this is a Mythic Heroes battle and it's light and light, she might have extra stats, but those are likely her stats. 48 speed, that's pretty good. Not overly quick. And Nimble Beast is nice. She has a really complete kit, so if nothing else, she's going to be good fodder. But yeah, Flying Beast Heroes have been a really hard class to do right. I think the most best ones of all time were like what, Emblem, Tibarn? That was basically it. Nysala?
This has to be done.
Alright. You guys remember when Ephraim was our best close save hero?
The day of devotion!
Ooh! Took an armor blade.
A blade
Holy
must
crap.
cut.
Hell, and I sure didn't have tragic stories.
Shall we?
Eitri definitely has a tragic story. I don't know what you're saying. Wait. Wait, that's it? Wait, what? Wait, what is this? Where's the other one? Where's Nidhogg? Oh, you're right, it's October. My mistake. But what? My mistake. Why did I think it was November already? Yeah. Okay, you're right. Then it should be singular. What did I think? My mistake. Okay. But why? This is a skip then. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay, my mistake. I've also had zero rest in between. We've been streaming straight. We're actually... I know for those who dropped by the trailer, and you're like, well, why would you make that mistake? It's so obvious, it's October.
Veg banner.
Okay, great.
Also, where the heck is Male Robin? He was scheduled for this month, Nimzai.
That's not a big deal. My mistake. We've been streaming for 5 hours, by the way. We've been streaming for 5 hours already. I wanted to take a break, have some food, rest up, have a little bit of rest before the trailer, but we didn't. And I guess I got lost in conversation, which we were talking about the biggest Mythic Hero banner of the year coming up. And I guess I lost track of the months. My mistake. I would say
calling it Nidhogg will be Dark Mythic.
Okay, I would say that happens, but whatever. You guys can hold it against me if you like. I honestly I don't mind at this point. So yeah, my mistake. It is only one Mythic Hero banner, but unfortunately, this is a really, really hard sell. The timing is just so bad. The timing is atrocious, actually. This is... Every single year, I think to myself, why do they do this? Because you guys have noticed a pattern over the years, right? Where they don't release every OC. Therefore, you end up with a lot of characters that never get released. Or by the time they get released, it's many, many, many years later. Right? It doesn't make any sense to do it this way. They're either in OC Hell. For example, Fafnir is a good example. He was the villain. OC Hell. Does not matter. Or Freyr, which eventually became a hero, but like when initial, he should have been there a lot earlier, right? Like they do these weird things where they always, like, for whatever reason, don't release them or prioritize their releases, and they release other heroes instead. There are several solutions to this, like doing double Mythic heroes, you know? Not like literally 2 and 2 together, but like more months with 2 heroes. Because now it's really awkward, because we have the big buff dude. There was actually quite a few OCs this book. But yeah, if they're gonna release Hresvelger, I thought, you know, they'd release her with Nidhogger. You know, put the sisters together. But yeah, as it stands, I don't know how they're gonna fit everything. There's gonna be someone who's stuck in OC Hell, because we still have the World Tree's Avatar, Yggdrasil's Avatar, and we still have... I feel like I'm missing someone, but there's just too many characters remaining to release everybody. So there's gonna be someone who's stuck again. Oh no, it's really just Nidhogg and Treeman? I thought there was one more remaining. Okay, my mistake then. Then is that next month? Because that would be... they'd be Mythic heroes. That would be 3 Mythic heroes in a row, and all heroes Mythic heroes. I don't think so. I thought there was one more missing, but even then, I don't... Because it'll be... Okay, one, it would be too obvious. It would be too obvious. There'd be, like, no excitement to it. And 2, if they go with that, it'd just be heroes into heroes into heroes. And historically, they don't like stacking banners like that, where it's one game into the same game. I think it's almost guaranteed that next month we're getting one Mythic, probably Treeman. Actually, it might be Nidhogger because she's armor. And the Savior meta right now is kind of like in the dumps. And then they would probably do a Legendary with that, is what I imagine. But yeah, there's just no reason to do it this way, because, for example, we already got, you guys remember start of last year, or I guess start of this year, we got Marth and Lumera at the same time, right? It's not just November where they do a double banner, or a Mythic, a Legendary, or a Legendary, and a Legendary, or a Mythic, you know, it's not just at November that they can do this. They've already shown that, so. I'm just gonna hope no one's stuck in Alt Hell, or sorry, in OC Hell, and yeah, I guess we'll see. Anyways, let's talk about the hero, because that's what's most important. Yeah, looking at Freyr and Fafnir as good examples of why that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this is a... Can we just start here first? I'm not being a hater, am I? Is she not the least interesting character of this book thus far? Alright. Don't call him Treeman? Oh, because you're Treeman. She looks cool. I think she looks okay. No, least interesting is Heathrin. Okay, well. Nah, she's pretty bad, I agree. I thought we got a non-OC Mythic in October. Yeah, it would be weird to have triple Mythics and all be heroes. Okay, let's talk her... let's talk about Hirschfelger. All right, this is one of the hardest cells of all time, honestly. Chat, how many flying beast heroes have been released since the game's inception? 20? It's not a lot, and they don't do a lot because it's really hard to do it right. And in my honest opinion, I think Pirate Tibar and Pirate Nacella were good at their time. Embla is still good. I mean, because of the Savior bypass. So people argue that's not that important anymore because Savior heroes are kind of on the downturn. But and then you have what, like the Herons, right? Like it's so hard to do it right. It's just so difficult. Elm was their last attempt at an OC outside Embla, and so they were 1 of 2 at that time. So it's really, really hard to get this to go right. So let's see it. I think she's gonna be great fodder, but yeah, this is rough. Okay, let's go. Quading Claw, Slaying, Speed Defense -7, Exposure, and if foe would reduce unit's HP to 0, unit survives 1 HP, aka Miracle. Also, all stats +5. All stats attack speed defense -X on foe. X is the number of foes within 2 spaces of target, with bonus or penalties acted on them, excluding target ×3. Maximum 10, so a lot of easy stats. Deals Y damage. Y equals total number of bonuses and penalties acted on foe and any foe within 2 spaces of foe. So she's going to debuff, and then she's going to get extra stats from that, is the idea. Reduces damage from attacks by 40%. And I think that means both attacks. Yep. And reduces the percentage of foes non-special reduced damage by X% skills by 50% during combat. So 50% damage bypass, damage reduction bypass. Standard new beast transformation effects. Actually, it's old beast transformation effects. You guys think it's kind of weird that they still haven't updated this? Cav Beast Heroes got an update a long time ago. It's still just movement +1, attack +2, which is, you know what? This is really weird. I think that part is the part that bothers me the most out of this. That they didn't upgrade Flyer's beast transformations. I think in this day and age, it's just way too little to have 1 extra movement and attack +2. They could at least throw some stats on it and just update it. I don't know. I don't think that's good enough. But yeah, I guess we still have the same beast flyer transformation effects after all this time. Alright, Nimble Beast. Boost damage by X% of unit speed when special triggers if transform X was 50, otherwise X was 40. Okay, it's just a speed variant of the beast skill that, inheritable beast skill that we got recently. So this is nothing special, it's just the speed variant. Okay. I mean, it makes sense, she's really fast. Attack Speed Fortune. If unit can transform, transformation effect gains if unit is within 2 spaces of a beast or dragon ally, or if number of adjacent allies other than beast or dragon allies is less than or equal to 2 as its trigger condition. If defending ether raids at start, I know you're gonna use her in ether raids, but come on. In defending an ether, wait, she's light season, she's offense. At start of enemy turn 1, if conditions for transformations are met, unit transforms. Wait, what? Oh! I was like, what does that mean? If conditions for transformations are met, unit transforms. Yeah, of course, if the conditions of transforming are met, you transform. No. For those who don't remember, when ether raids turn 1, they don't transform yet. So you can actually hit the beast heroes before they transform. So they actually need a turn to pass before they actually transform. Okay, that's really what they mean. Okay. So this gives her more protection. But that's such a minor condition, because a lot of times you can just stack things on the field and avoid letting your beast heroes get engaged turn 1. But okay, that does make a difference. It's not nothing. If units transform or foe initiates combat, grants attack speed +8 to unit, and neutralizes foe's bonuses to speed defense during combat, and restores 7 HP to unit after combat. Is it me, or does that feel like it's very little? Because we have new skills in A slot, like Excel skills. Those are amazing. Right? What is that new skill from Alphonse and Asker? That new A slot where you get defense and res and also distant counter for some reason? Like, that skill is so good. It's also more things than that. But it feels like this is so underwhelming in comparison. Alright, cool. SA near Trace 4 makes sense, but Trace skills kind of feel like out of date at this point. They just don't do enough. Yeah, Fortifications is really good A slot. They set the standard so high and just do something like Attack Speed Fortune, which is just... Man, This has been pretty sleeper thus far, so it's all about Divine Talent. Let's go. At start turn, neutralizes any penalty effects on unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit, excluding penalties inflicted at start turn, and deals 1 damage to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit. That's a Lysithea thing. I don't really think heroes take advantage of that well enough nowadays, but okay. At start turn, grants unit can move 1 extra space to beast, dragon, infantry, and armor allies in 2 spaces of unit. I think that's what they're trying to bank this on. Is that enough to make her special or interesting? If units transform or foes HP 75% or above at start combat, all stats +5 to unit. Neutralize effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks, aka not follow-up. Neutralize effects that inflict special equivalent charge -X on tempo, and reduces the damage from foes attacks by X% during combat. So partial tempo and then true damage reduction. X equals the number of spaces from start position to end position of whoever initiated combat, X4, maximum of 12. So this increases her bulk by a lot. And also when foes attack triggers foe special, reduces damage by X. No, that's not enough. Chat, do you think this is good enough? This is, I don't want to be a hater. This is such a skip. Not just because next month will be double mythic heroes or legendary mythic heroes. This is not enough. When facing strengthened foes, this healing hand slashes them with an overwhelming amount of damage. This is not enough. This is not remotely enough. She removes penalties. It's just not good enough. This is basically checks off every basic box, but it didn't check off anything special and unique. The special unique box that she's trying to check right now is 1 damage chip to allies, which can trigger traps and whatnot. But she's Aether offense. The 1 damage means a lot more on Aether defense. Yes, she can synergize better with some heroes, but that is not that big of a deal in comparison. Because she's light season, that doesn't have as much value. And again, 1 extra movement is really nice, but it's even nicer on Aether defense. She's a light hero. Again, it's not useless. There's still good skills. But I think she would have fit better on defense with these skills. It would have made her more interesting. Especially because, especially because attack speed fortune is meant for Aether defense. So it feels really weird. Because Divine Talon fits defense better. Attack speed fortune, defense better, again. But okay, let's get past the Aether stuff, because she's not just an Aether hero. People run her in summer duels. But let's try that again. Will you run her in summer duels? I feel like if you run this character in summer duels, or something like that, she has to move 1 extra. Essentially, she has to move 4 spaces, I think, and then it'll be interesting. I'm gonna double check. Does she move 4? No, it's still 3 spaces. So, remember, the scaling of a hero right now, for example, we just got Emblem Sigurd. And I know it's not good to match to an Emblem hero, because those are supposed to be game breakers. But Emblem Sigurd moves 5 spaces. He has an extra action. He has an AoE, right? He has a really good Kanto. She just has a normal Kanto. That means a Trace 4. But, you know what I mean? Like, when you look at the comparison, it just doesn't match. It's just not good enough. I don't know why you would go out of your way for Hirschfelger, to be honest. I don't see how she's going to be anything special or extra in terms of Aether offense. So in my honest opinion, this is an easy skip. It just doesn't make sense. This feels like a kit from last year. Well, it'd be a really strong kit from last year. But it feels like it's missing something. Or missing a couple of things, actually. But those are my opinions. I could be a complete fool. You can let me know. I just don't feel like this kind of hero fits in Aether offense. I don't feel like this kind of hero fits in summer duels, and this definitely doesn't fit in terms of like arena. So that's my take. Feel free to disagree. Okay, let's go over the rest of the heroes though. Ursula's nice. Embla's nice. Edward is really useful because that's Breath of Life 4. I don't remember that dude at all. Shit, what's his name again? Erica's pretty nice. Ford is whatever. Nevalier is technically pretty good, but I think he's so gimmicky that he's not the kind of character I would bet on long term to be not power crept. I think he would be power crept like heck. Heatherin's pretty good. Ekfanir is really good. I don't know, man. Corrin is good. Male Corrin. Look, it's a good banner. I would hella skip this banner though. So red, because of Edward, I think is decent. But Embla, because saber units aren't used as much, and she's not a good fighter anymore, is whatever. I think a lot of people who want Embla already have her. Aside from that, I think Ford is just really whatever. I mean, he's not useless. He's good, but he's not a standout at all. So I don't know why you would go out of your way to get him. So red, despite having Edward with Breath of Life 4 and still being a really good God Sword, I actually think it's just okay. Blue I think is good, just from the virtues of how this works. Blue is good. Green is okay. I don't know, man. This entire thing is such a hard sell. I don't think people should go for this banner. I think Carlos is fairly interesting because of Alir and Nevalier. Yeah, Corrin and Erica also make it fairly interesting, but I don't think either of them are like super meta threats anymore. And then you got Heathrin and Ekvanir holding it out, so... if this was not clearly a skip, I don't know what is. Guys, I've never been so, well, I don't know. I think I've been more down. But in terms of Mythic banners, it's been a long time since I've been so down about Mythic banner. I think this is an easy skip. You guys give me your thoughts. Look, I'm not saying this banner is bad. Whenever I say it's a skip, people always think it's that. It's not bad. But do remember, November is when we have the dual Mythics, or a Legendary or Mythic, or Legendary. And then, of course, in December, we have New Year banner or Christmas banner. It's almost guaranteed that will matter more. It's almost guaranteed. So... I'd skip. There you go. All right, let's do let's do a rating.
Almost seems like it's deliberate to sell the double mythic more. I think that's what happened last year too.
No, that's not how this works. Faye is not in the position where they can have bad banners anymore. Do you guys remember how much money Faye made last month? $3 million. You got it. $3 million. You might say to yourself, $3 million is a lot of money. Yeah, for working individuals, it's a lot of money. For Fire Emblem Heroes, that's really, really bad. And you might be like, okay, well, that was just the off month, right? September is slow. Nothing's going on in September, and it was just off of Brave Heroes. Okay, let's try that again. August, Brave Heroes. How much money did they make? Oh, that's right, $4 million. The best, most game-changing banner of the year, where we have the bump, the major power creep, and we had strong characters like Felix, right? Robin's high utility. Alphonse is so annoying to deal with, and Bernadetta, as long as they don't have Hardy Bearing, is a great damage dealer. Okay, how did that banner only do 1 million better than September? The game's revenue has been on a steep decline. They can't afford to be like, oh, we'll give them a skip banner. They can't afford that. Not at this point. It's not to say they should do a high power creep, but there are things they can do. For example, organizing. The way they organize these things is by is a release schedule. But even then, they alter it. For example, we were supposed to have Robin this banner, and Robin's not here. So what I'm saying is, like, you can do certain things to move things around to make a banner more attractive, more appealing. You could also hide your characters a bit better. Like Hirschfelger might have been better off being released next month, because that way you can hide her with a stronger hero like Nidhogger, who's much more useful. You know, there are ways you can go about things to boost the revenue, to boost the interest. Moreover, I know this is going to sound crazy to Fae players. What's stopping them? No, seriously, what's stopping them from being like, oh, hey, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the release of Nidhogger. Here are 10 bonus tickets. Again, the answer is nothing. There's nothing stopping them from doing these things, but because it's not in their history to do so. So I'm just saying, you don't necessarily have to have things be this way. There's a lot of ways they can boost the sales of the banner. It's not, they shouldn't be trying to intentionally make it so people skip. But this game is not very generous, so, you know. Don't we have enough Robins already? Yeah, I'm just saying he was scheduled. Robin was scheduled for this month, and now it's not. Oh, sorry, if it wasn't clear, I'm not talking about a new Robin. I'm talking about Robin rerun. Meanwhile, Nikkei, not to mention this anniversary of Anachirio, I think Nikkei is about to be a record high. Taiko-sen, you found me from Brown Dust 2, right? You know I play Nikkei. I also make content for Nikkei. In fact, I think I spend more time streaming Nikkei than any other gacha game right now. Alright, you, the people, have spoken! 3 stars, 3 out of 5, I agree with that. I think you should hella skip this. It's meh. It's meh at best. And I'm just sorry. Like, Beast Heroes already have a hard time being meta relevant, and the fact that it's a flying Beast Hero, which is even harder.
The Robin thing.
So,
Link.
yeah, rough. Yeah, okay, let's take a look at that real quick. Here. So they do move characters around, which is what I was trying to say. So it was supposed to be Legendary Male Robin. That didn't happen. So you can move things around. For example, if they moved Camilla and Robin, they swapped these two, that would have made things a lot more interesting. Robin was slated for this, by the way. They don't put a character on unless it's guaranteed. So let's not pretend Faye doesn't break these things. They did put Erica in, attune Erica in, and that makes things interesting. Green is strong. It absolutely is strong. But I don't think that's enough to save the banner. They would have needed, they put Ursula into blue. I feel like they would have needed to like Erica and Amelia in blue. Vale is a really hard sell nowadays. Yeah. I guess they did try. I guess they did try. They just didn't have a lot of good options. You know what? Maybe I should stop being so hard because no matter what they were going to do, October was really going to be really rough. Because if these were their only option, of the red heroes, is Edward not the best? Edward is the best. Of the blue heroes, you can argue against Ursula and that Amelia is more interesting or more useful, but Ursula is still a really good AoE hero, so can't really argue against that. I would have preferred Amelia, but Ursula's not useless. She's a really good nuke. Green, I mean, you really had only one option. It was either keep Robin. I guess that was their attempt. Put an Erica over Robin to try and make it work. And then for colorless, I think Soth or Ekavnir, it doesn't really, or whatever this guy's name, it doesn't really matter. Both of them were going to be kind of sleeper. So just having Ekavnir and Alir was supposed to carry that, which I don't think they do, unfortunately, because they're both kind of out of date at this point. You know what? The real problem is just the power creep is so high that heroes that haven't even been here for 6 months already feel out of date. Does anyone remember when Male Alir was released? It doesn't even matter anymore. Same thing with Ekavnir. Like, they're just not scary heroes anymore because the power creep is just way too high. Okay, whatever. What I'm trying to say is, okay, I guess they couldn't do anything about it because they put themselves in a bad position and they couldn't really improve it. So this month was going to be a skip no matter what. But again, I would argue, so I'm kind of wrong on that, but I would argue they should have still put Hirschfelger into November and move Nidhogger into October. I think that would have made things more interesting. Had they done that, it because Nidhogger as a savior unit would be still pretty good and would likely be one of the best savior units instead of a class like Flying Beasts, which historically has had no bearing and no general interest. It has minor interest. So if it were me, I would put Nidhogger here, Hirschfelger here, and then somebody else here. If you hide Hirschfelger with, I mean, you just get blues, I guess. Okay, no matter what you do, it's gonna be rough, so. Mjolnir Legendary was February. Okay, my mistake. So it's not over, it's end of February, and now it's October, so that was 8 months ago. So, sorry, not 6 months, 8 months. But still, like, a hero should be still strong and really meta relevant. Especially like legendaries and mythics after a year. Come on. The fact that in 6 months a lot of heroes just become forgettable is just crazy. Robin moved till April 2025. That's insane. Legendary Mail Shez back next month. Pog. Legendary Mail Shez is bullshit. Broken. Hope you're having a good stream day. Hey Mio, I'm alright. Okay, I guess we'll just talk it over with the guys. I really don't think there's much to talk about. Again, sorry for making a mistake. I thought today was October. Sorry, November, not October. That's what you get for streaming 5 hours in a row. By the way, I only had 4 hours of sleep last night. Actually, no, 3 hours and 40 minutes of sleep last night. But yeah, enough of the excuses. I'm just burnt out. It's been a long night. I don't think the guys are talking it over because I don't see them, so I guess that's that then. What are you doing if no job and no sleep? I had to play 9.5 hours of gacha games last night. Last night, let me show you guys. And you might be like, well then just don't, but I need to adjust. When I was working, I pushed a lot of the events and stuff back as far as we can. So yeah, we did 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 25 minutes of soloing Arise, about 4 hours of Sword of Convalaria last night, and then 3 hours of Genshin Impact plus Honkai Star Rail. So we did 9 hours of gachas. Today we did 1.5 hours of Fae, 3 hours of the Brown Dust 2 X Senran Kagura event. Wow, it's 1 second away from 3 hours. Where we did the polls and the story, and now we're doing the Fae trailer. So I'm really burnt out. I've had like no opportunity to rest. Remember, because I have to start the stream at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so we have time to do the Fae weeklies rushed. And because I ended streaming at 6 a.m. 5 a.m. last night, there wasn't a lot of time to rest. So yeah, it was rough. It was rough, man. But it'll be better going forward because now that I'm unemployed, I can actually have time to like rest and whatnot. Is Hirschfelger or Heathran for light season besides healing? Isn't Heathran E3's defense? Hirschfelger is E3's offense. I'm gonna double check. Heathran's E3's defense, isn't she? I remember. Alright, I don't think we're missing much. Why should IS give us nice things? Did you guys know? Right now in Nikkei, it's their anniversary. 2 year anniversary. And they're giving 150 plus polls, which is insane. MLB, which is the equivalent of... MLB is max limit break, so that's 4 copies of SSR. And they have, like, the gameplay element is what Faye never does, which is so stupid. They have a new minigame. They literally made a minigame, a Metrovania minigame, which isn't really a minigame, it's more like an indie game, because you can actually play it and spend hours and hours on it. Aside from the new story chapters, which they're releasing 2 new story chapters, like, that's what it's supposed to look like when you have a major content update, when you have an anniversary. Anyways, I don't want to keep talking badly about Faye. It's just, I don't understand what stops this game from just doing the things that everyone else is doing. Like, this game made $1 billion. Why can't you have the story be voice acted? Especially because there's so few lines, you know? Doesn't make sense to me. Is there a reason why you can't make more game modes? Again, doesn't make sense to me. And the game modes that they have been making have all been bad because they haven't really been spending time on it. I'm not trying to nitpick. I don't even think these are nitpicks. I think these are legitimate criticisms. Is there a reason why they just don't do the stuff that everyone else does? I don't know. Anyways, well, that's the matter. It's a skip, so there's unfortunately not too much to talk about. I've got 1,800 mileage tickets saved up for Cinderella. Holy crap. I have nothing saved up. Did you skip Asuka? I'm at Core 7 Asuka. That's why I have nothing. I guess I have like 200 pulls saved up, but I don't have any mileage. Oh my god, Legion. I thought you weren't showing up. That's why I was like, I guess we're going to call it night. They will never do it, but if they did animations on unit PNGs, I love it. Yeah, is there a reason why don't they convert to live 2D? Because they started this game as live 2D. No, I don't have any mileage tickets. He said he had 1,800 mileage tickets. That's what I meant. Context. I got one copy of FOMO. Asuka's my favorite tsundere of all time, so. Taiko, are you seriously just like playing collab and collab and collab? Alright, anyways. It's... Speaking of which, again, what stops Fire Emblem Heroes from having collab? Nothing. Again, I really want to be positive about this game. I wish there was something nice I could say, man. I'm so sorry. I would even be upset at myself if I had to like listen to so much negativity. But there's really like, no, I really challenge you guys. Help me out here. Help me say something positive about the game. Do you guys know the rapper 50 Cent? He had a beef with Ja Rule. So on a Stephen Colbert show, when he was being interviewed, he was asked, say one nice thing about Ja Rule, and he said, well, he's alive. Because that's all I can think about. Say one nice thing about Fire Emblem Heroes. Well, it's alive. That's basically all I can really say at this point. Like, as in terms of actually good thing that it's doing. Being alive for over 7 years, that's impressive. That's legitimately the only one truly impressive good thing I can say about it. You sound like you hate the game. I don't hate the game, but it's so hard to say anything positive. It's so hard. Like, that's why I'm asking you guys. Say something positive about Fire Emblem Heroes. Help me say something positive about it. The theme music is good. It's a mixed bag. I would be lying if I said it's good. It's a mixed bag. Some Fire Emblem games have really nice soundtracks, and some are kind of really out of date. If it's like Three Houses, if it's like Echoes, if it's like Awakening and Fates, I think those are good ones. Engage has some good tracks, but like the really old Fire Emblem, outside of the nostalgia factor, I don't really think they're good anymore.
They can't do collabs without people complaining about guest characters getting in before Zai's favorite.
Yeah, but every game has to deal with that. Either way. Anyways, I'm gonna get Legion in here. We're gonna talk about things. At least it's not as stagnant to comparison, but that may only apply to me. Are you sure? Isn't Faye the definition of stagnant? We play the same modes every single month. Is that not the definition of stagnant? It's not gonna be like, you know, Genshin Impact, where they literally make new mini games and they have co-op and they have different challenges and mission stories and events. We just roll through the same things every month. We have 2 summer duels. We have Hansloki. We have Arena every week, Ether Raids every week. You know, Arena Assault alternating, like, is that not stagnant? Three-month Santa with literally no content. Okay. Well, I don't think. But I guess everyone has their opinions here. All right, let's talk over with Legion. I just want to get these things out of my system so we can say, hopefully, don't have to say anything negative at all. Okay, but the new Genshin minigame is ass.
Oh yeah, Sang's bits here.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Even if you argue it's ass, like, at least they did it. I don't know, that's a perception thing. I was playing through the minigame event last night in the Genshin event. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun. I even died a couple of times, which is usually my issue with the Genshin events, that it's too easy. But yeah, speak for yourself, it's fine. Alright, let's talk over the guys. Sorry, I'm gonna double check to see if I'm missing anything. It has... I started Nikkei because of the New York collab. Taiko, I actually did the same thing, dude. I started last year, September 25th, 2 days before the New Year event ended. I've heard that I stopped animations because of the amount of memory it takes. Do correct me if I'm wrong. They did. But it's 2024. Everyone has bigger phones now. But people don't prioritize Faye anymore, so I guess whatever. At least Faye is not as annoying as Paimon. I don't know why people hate Paimon so much. I don't find Paimon that annoying. Faye's more boring than Paimon. Paimon at least does... Do you guys... Oh, hold on. Do you guys remember Paimon? Paimon at least has a personality. Do you guys remember this? This was hilarious. You guys remember this? This was fun. You could draw Paimon. You can draw her like the Mona Lisa, or draw her like a spaz. I don't know, man. At least Paimon has a personality. Even if you find her annoying, at least you can remember her. Let's see. It's the only game I know where you can move one unit skill onto another. Yeah, but that's a stand-in for equipment. And in other games, you can just move equipment to whatever you want, so... You guys know that skill inheritance is the stand-in for equipment, right? Like, other games have equipment where you can grind it up and roll it and get different attributes. But in other games, you can move it for free. In Faye, you have to lose a character for it. So if you look at it from a literal standpoint of, hey, it's a skill, then sure, but it's the equivalent to equipment to other games. Genshin is kind of thriving. Genshin, after how many years now? 4 years is still maintaining like 60 million active players a month, which is insane. Paimon speaks over Traveler and rehashes everything. Not all the time. They've taken the input. Paimon at start was absolutely like that. If you looked at Paimon recently, she's a lot less annoying, especially with more recent events. Because they adjust and take feedback. But then nothing we say is good. I'm just giving the rebuttal towards it. Like, again, the one thing I think you cannot rebuke, and that is legitimately good about the game, is that after 7 years, it's still around. A lot of games, most games will not make it to 7 years. Except for the VA strike, which made me turn the JP voice into JP so I don't have to awkward silent over text boxes. Oh, there was a VA strike? I don't mind Paimon. I hate Tenandoyo is memorable. Yes. Iconic, in fact. I wish you could grind Mats and Faye. That isn't dumb level up crystals. Yes, exactly. Please. That'd be great. Another positive, the art has gotten better. Been consistently good. The last banner had art that I didn't really like. But, okay, I'll give you that. Yes, the art in this game is generally pretty good nowadays. The reason why it's like I'm hesitating there is because other games have moved to higher levels of art, right? Live 2D, in Nikkei it's Live 2D, and Genshin and Honkai Star Rail, it's 3D, fully modeled art, so they can actually be extremely expressive. It's not just a still picture. That's why, like, you're right, but in this day and age, it's not very impressive to have a really nice PNG, because all the recent gacha games that are launching are much more expressive of how they conduct themselves. Alright, let's talk it over now.
Aladar, but on the other hand, Harassvogels. Yeah, that's right one.
Alright, hello you two.
Hello.
I didn't even know you were going to show up.
Hello.
It really does just sum up to that while fake and rare.
Well, it is. I just asked Legion once you showed up and no one was there. I was like, "Are you gonna show up?" And he's like, "Oh, actually, I just got to get to my PC." And so I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll make a case for this, even though I'm a little tired as well."
I want you to know, I was like 20 seconds from just leaving. I streamed 5 hours before Faye, so I'm already
Wow.
burnt out.
Yes,
fair.
that's an
Wow.
understandable feeling.
And okay, how about we start this? Alright, let's start with our first topic. Was this the hero you were expecting? Did you expect Hraesvelgr? Yes, she was going to be on that list, but did you actually think it was going to be right now?
It'd be one of two, Hraesvelgr or Nithogr, and I went with Hraesvelgr just because 2 armors, next one would be funny.
Okay, so there...
It felt odd to me because the blue color share was weird. It was all that was marked was Veil, and colorless seemed like the much more recent units with Alir and Eikthyr near. So I was confused if they were gonna do one of the OCs or not. So I wasn't sure.
Okay, but
I didn't look.
I don't like this idea because, in my eyes, they're now set up for a really bad situation, right? Because it's Hraesvelgr now, which means next month, it's either completely obvious, which is Nidhogger and the Yggdrasil stand-in, whatever his name is,
Lorather.
Lorather.
Lorather. So we're going triple hero mythic heroes. That would be really rough.
I can't remember. Have they done that before for the November mythics? Done back to back? Like if October had mythics as well?
They broke the pattern before. I remember that.
So, book 4, it was Plumeria, followed up by Triandra and Freya, so that was triple mythic.
Yep.
Book 5, Atri was arbitrarily a legendary hero, so that
Which
just
made
didn't
no
happen.
sense. That should never happen. They basically forced that.
And then book 6 was Legendary Veronica, so, I mean, that one is fair.
Sure.
Book 7 was... What was the... October?
Wait, are you doing this off the top of your head?
Yep.
Oh my god, you're so crazy.
Book 7 was that Golveg and Kvasir?
Yeah, that'd be November. I'm trying to remember what October was.
Oh.
I'm just saying
3.
it's a bad idea in my eyes, because if you're not interested in this book, which, let's be frank, the story has been all over the place and people are less and less interested, yeah, that's really rough. And I think Hraesvelgr of the 3 remaining OCs is the weakest one. The hardest one to
Veil.
sell.
Yeah, I agree. Even going into this, I was the most worried for Hraesvelgr as a unit, even though Nithogr has pre-combat damage and a Breath of Life meta. I was a little more worried about it.
I think an
Full on
armor
offensive
hero is
inspire.
more interesting for most people, because historically, flying beast heroes, can you even name 4 of them that were relevant?
There are not a lot of them in general.
Sure.
That's kind of the problem.
That is the true.
2 of them were Embla.
Yeah, that's true.
But even then, they usually are only popular for a little bit of time. And the majority of the popularity is from early on in the game, the first half of the game. So when the Herons first released, immensely popular, obvious reason, right?
Yeah,
3
Tabar,
movement
Naysala.
dancers that have a little bit of healing on start of turn.
Yep.
Naysala was popular as a free-to-play hero back in the day. Sure, I can buy that, but his
And then shortly after his refine, he had a
had a
good
little
chunk
bit of
time after
resurgence.
that. Or at least, yeah, a good chunk if you ask Legion, maybe.
Right.
Which unit? Naysala?
Naysala. So
Yeah.
Tibarn, Naysala, and their pirate variants had some level of success. But let's be fair here. The one of the clearly the most success, Emblem, and that's it.
Out and away.
Like that was the only
should
one
also
that was
mention
meta.
That we've listed all of them except for Elm. And Vika, I
Wait.
guess.
There isn't
That's
even
it.
10 flying beasts. I thought it was.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
My mistake.
Pyrotigon, Pyronisala.
Or sorry, actually exactly 10. Now I guess it's 11.
Okay. There's exactly 10. Okay.
Yeah. And there has been a grand total of 1 this year, 1 last year, and then 1 the year before.
Right. Because for those who forgot, when Embla took off, Elm completely flopped.
Yep.
So they're not
Actually, I
exactly good on their track record here.
No, I mean, it's just a very rare class and kind of an identity crisis in the first place because they're movement +1, but the only reason why we have meta ones is because Embla isn't really known for being a beast flyer. I guess Bride kind of, but you don't use base Embla for the unit.
Yeah.
You want that anti-savior, baby.
And that's it. That's the only reason she's withstood all this time because, again, it's already hard for, say, Beast Calves because Eater is a good example. Eater on paper should be amazing, and she is amazing. Never took off the meta. People used her for a short amount of time. I'm not disputing that she was never used or something like that. Everyone always takes things to extreme, so please don't do that to me. But she fell off so fast after like a couple months, basically.
Big time. Barely saw her after a month.
Well,
Barely saw her
Yeah,
within
true.
that month, but you know.
yeah.
Also true.
So it was already a really hard classification, and now you do a flyer variant. And the reason why I think this is so dumb, you want to know the biggest thing I took away from this, which I thought was the dumbest thing of all?
What's that?
I thought this would at least be guaranteed. And then, well, hold on. We already saw her in battles, so we already knew her claw and whatnot. But
Alright.
I thought this should be guaranteed. Why are they not updating the flyer weapon? Like the base effect. It's just one movement, 2 attack in 2024. We've had that same thing.
I can't argue.
Why?
That'd be nice.
Because Beast Cavalry and Beast Infantry have both got changed. Beast Infantry went from Wudao to Tempo, which is still good to this day.
That's an insane
Beast Cavalry
update.
Yeah. Old Tempo. From
Yeah, that was
true
the better
damage.
of the two.
And they kept true
For
damage.
sure.
Not all of it, but
Yep.
some of it.
Okay.
Like, and then of course, Beast Cavs, they go from sturdy impact-ish, which, follow a prevention and non-all fallout meta, woo, to Clash, which is totally logical for cavalry. Good stats.
And the DR
True.
as
A
well.
little bit of DR. It's kind of nice. A lot of stats, though, which makes Beast Cavalry notoriously good stat sticks.
Okay.
Both are good.
So let's go back to our current hero. Why? They have every opportunity to do this. It would make perfect sense as well because, hey, it's after Choose Your Legends. Right? Like, we're supposed to have that bump.
Yeah. You could do something very simple. You could do a similar clash condition like the cavalry, and just have a slightly different effect with that clash.
Yep.
Yeah, you could
You could have it with. You could do true damage on clash.
Yep.
even just anti-stall would be nice. Like,
I mean,
it's
it doesn't
the
matter
simplest.
because they never did it. But yes,
Just
it's so
something,
easy to
yeah.
figure out something to do here. It's such a strange decision to keep it as is. It doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm being very sad about the game, which is I don't even think people are working on this game anymore, they probably can't change the effect.
It's-
It's what I imagine. Because it's a basis effect. It's a template. I imagine that's how they're doing things. They have a template and they just add onto effects onto it. But because this is the
That makes
basis
sense.
of the template, they can't move it. And before someone says like, "Oh, that's super easy in programming," yeah, but this is also the same company that couldn't increase the ether limit for a month. So, you tell me if people are working, there are programmers working on this game anymore. None of that makes sense to me. Okay, but moving on. As for the hero itself, it's not enough. It checks every basic box, but that's exactly why it's not enough. So,
Alright.
it is, if we look at everything, speed defense -7, slaying, exposure, neutralize non-special if foe would reduce unit's HP to 0, unit survives with 1 HP effect on nearest foes and foes, Okay, cool.
Yep.
All stats +5, attack speed defense -X on foes, so stats, damage reduction bypass by 50%, nimble beast is yep.
Yeah. True damage.
Oh yeah, the true damage
First.
based on Y. Okay. I'm going really quickly through that because none of that is particularly interesting because almost every hero is doing this stuff nowadays when
The
it comes
true
to aggressive.
damages.
Okay, well, sure. It's not that big of a deal in my eyes because she has way too many issues to make that matter. Nimble Beast is nice. It's a speed variant of the
I like that.
other thing we got, which was defense, I think.
Sturdy beat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So this is the reason why I'm like really down. Attack speed fortune. We got a new beast skill.
Yep.
It's not enough.
Alright.
It is attack speed +8, neutralize foes bonuses to speed defense, 7 HP healing, and a very easy transformation. Additionally, Ether Raid's defense. She transforms really well in Ether Raid's defense. Except she's a light hero, so I guess it doesn't matter.
That part's fodder.
Yeah, so she's supposed to be foddered. Estinor Trace 4. I'm not going to argue it's too out of date, but compared to the Kanto we have nowadays, it's just okay.
It's just what happens when you have the generic Kanto and the only way up is Sigurd Ring.
Or you put it in her weapon. That
Or you
weapon,
put it, well, yeah.
I don't think it does enough, is my problem with it. Anyways, so I don't like her A, I don't like her B, so it has to all depend on her C. Obviously her special is perfectly fine. Though again, there's very few heroes you would actually go out of your... Like, which beast hero would you even go... I suppose, like, somebody with Yarn or...
The Freyas.
Sure.
Or Nerthus.
Nerthus would be a pretty good option.
Yeah. But, like, there's so few heroes who care that much about beast heroes. So few players that care that much to go through that distance. Especially with the timing being as it is. But yes, it is a good option. Okay. So it's all about Divine Talent. Which which neutralizes penalties.
Odd or even recovery style.
Yep. Deals 1 damage to unit and allies within 2 space to unit. Which again, isn't that an Ether Raid's defense thing? That matters more in Ether Raid's defense. It's not like it's useless in offense. It can enable heroes.
Well, wait.
Huh?
Why would we need it in defense? I mean, I guess, yeah, it would help with using Wings of Mercy for warping.
Because it sets up the... Yeah. Well, there...
Healer traps as well. Those are nice.
Well, then why do you need me to explain this? You know the answer!
Because on the other hand, Wings of Mercy offense.
I'm sure PM1 will kind of enjoy her because Gale Force.
Wings of Mercy chains are set up by these... people have literally run Bernadetta just for the sake of that pre-combat damage.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now that's not happening. Gale Force is still rare, and to set up those chains, which some people will do, it does have value. I don't even know why they would go out of their way for this. Because I'm going to give some examples after this as to why this doesn't matter.
Alright.
As our turn grants unit 1 extra move space to Dragon, Beast, Infantry, and Armor allies in 2 spaces of unit. So this is the part that got to me. This is what they're trying to sell. It's clearly supposed to help with Gale Force team, right? But Light Season is the easiest Gale Force team because you have Dagger, which helps with the movement. You have Ash, which helps with the movement, and of course she's great at Gale Forcing. So, like, this season is already so set up well for Gale Forcing. Why?
Heavy.
Like, why do you need to be a light mythic? I don't understand that part. Why do you even need to be
I can't argue.
Offensive mythic? Because you can set up a lot of really interesting defensive things with her. Especially because, again, Fortune is meant for defense. So, none of that... Yeah?
No, I'm just saying, yep.
Oh, okay. Also, none of that adds up particularly well, because it feels like she was meant for something else, and then they put her in a role that she isn't going to perfectly fit, or fit well in, or shine in. That's probably the better choice of words.
She'll fit it. It's just, again, Light Season is Gale Force, definitively.
Yeah.
Even if all those units are a little old.
So
it's still a season built on Gale Force.
Isn't it obvious? If they just made her Astra, the complaints would drop,
much cleaner.
And there would be a purpose, a real meaning here.
Yep.
Okay. Additionally, if units transform with foes HP 75% or above at start of combat, all stats +5, neutral effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks, and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks, neutralize effects that inflict special equivalent charge minus X, and X's number of spaces moved, so up to 12 damage truly reduced. Allotype, thank you for
24
follow.
if it's special.
Okay, 24 if it's the special. And then also, when foes attack trigger foes special, reduces damage by X. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, with how much text is in Fae nowadays, I'd like to just summarize things. You guys can go to PM1 if you want to go in depth. I just don't want to spend 20 minutes to talk about numbers that...
Yeah, he does the summaries too.
Yes.
He makes the infographics.
Yes, because there's just way too much stuff. I know some people out there do memorize all these things. But you're the crazy people, so I want you guys to know that.
Even I can't anymore. I used to be able to. Now it's a little more hit or miss.
Because, well, let's put it this way. We can go through all this trouble and memorize all this stuff, and then we never see this hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you're using the hero, you're more likely to memorize it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Not if you don't see the unit.
Okay.
Especially since this is offense, so you'd have to be watching your replays, realistically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So, you look at that kit. Am I wrong in saying it's not enough? Because it feels like to me, had they released her at the start of the year, or better yet, last year, that's not even possible to be clear, but like this kind of hero is what I mean. It would have fit better. Because
I think that
yeah?
Sigurd Ring is particularly detrimental because now movement +1
No.
has been...
Not just the Sigurd ring. How about you just remove the ring part?
Okay, yeah, that's
Just
fair too.
Sigurd.
Gallop is funny. I mean, if we're talking from Mini Thread's offense perspective, I see Sigurd all over the place. So I guess cool, you can kind of save that. But
I
yeah,
know that
Sigurd.
so well, and that's what I was getting at. I'm running Sigurd. Why the hell do I need to set up a Gale Force team when I have a bullshit character like him? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I've always wanted to try Wings of Mercy Gale Force because it has a lot. There's a lot of things you can do with that kind of cheese strategies meant to stop Gale Force. But I could just use Sigurd and be
And we
okay
skip
most
all
of
of
the
that.
time.
That's why I'm saying this is not good. This is not the right timing. Last year would have been best. Start of this year would have been better. Would have been okay as well. Because she doesn't move 4 spaces. I think she would have had to move 4 spaces for this to have any meaning. Because she moves 3 spaces, there's no universe where in general content you would deploy her over Sigurd. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
So
we'd basically be doing it for tech reasons, or I guess for supportive reasons, but for the combat,
Yeah.
really never.
because if we talk about if we talk about supportive reasons, I would take Igrin, for example. Do Igrin over her? Wouldn't most people?
For the terrain penalty, yes-ish? I mean, it depends, because the terrain penalty immunity isn't always that helpful.
Sure. It's not 100% match to match, but I'm saying, okay, everyone's free to their opinions. But for me, if I had the option between her and Igrin, I'd take Igrin. Because when I look at something like Summoner Duels, Igrin absolutely has value. Hirschfelger,
Yes,
how
for sure.
are you going to use her at all? And you might argue...
Getting her
SD,
in-
she is a tougher argument, I feel like. I mean, her anti-miracle is nice, but her odd and even recovery thing doesn't really work.
Yeah, that
in
part
SD.
doesn't work in SD.
She doesn't move well enough is the other part, and even when she moves well enough, even though she checks off every box, she's not an exemplary fighter. The current generation of heroes that she has to fight, I don't know how she beats them.
Depends on how bonus heavy the team is, I guess.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'm just saying she doesn't like when I look at heroes that I'm terrified of nowadays, right? Like Brave Alphonse,
Right.
terrified. The new Asker, terrified.
right.
Felix, terrified.
Understandably.
Sigurd, terrified.
Yeah.
You put those together, she's not in the same tier. It's not even close.
No. I mean, again, she is Valadar like damage, so technically she could have damage all of them, but she is also pretty honest about getting there, getting out, and her bulk is standard. It's good, but I mean,
If this
it
is a
could be
triple
melted with
mythic
a
over this
strong
month and the
that
next,
armor
they're
blaze
probably
from Ephraim,
deliberately
I know
making the
was
last
not
two
on the
defense mythics as
Nibble
armor,
shot, but
and to
still,
avoid
it hurts.
overlapping with Rat on a Stra. So
Oh.
what was all Itras Velgar had? Even then, this is such a stretch of a reasoning and not a good one at all, even if...
You know what? If next month they do a triple mythic, I'll be legitimately surprised because that would make it special again. Because
Well, I think he's saying it's triple mythic, as in this is a mythic month, and then next month is 2.
oh, I thought you meant 3 heroes next month because I really feel like that's what they have to do at this point because we already had this November's not the only month you can have 2 heroes, 2 mythic heroes, or 2 legendary heroes, or whatever the heck anymore.
Yep, well, actually, also January, I think, because that's
Yeah.
when we got, like, Morty's Goto and whatnot.
Yeah, and then we had Lumera and Marth.
Yep.
So
So those are our 2 chances for that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But I'm saying if they make
all
a
know what's
triple
happening
triple banner or something like that would make things interesting.
Be so much. Oh, so many orbs.
Well, well, hold on. I think they have to go that far nowadays. I talked about revenue. Fey revenue has been in the dumps as of late. Last month was 3 months. Last month was 3 mil, and then August was 4 mil, which again are concerning numbers because CWL is expected to set records, not just be average in terms of revenue. And then September being a month that's slower, 3 mil is really, really bad for like a major IP game. But yeah, like I'm just saying, they do have to put all the stops out. They do have to try to win people over. Okay. But yeah, going forward, let's just summarize it. So
Right.
An actual triple mythic would let characters that have yet to see the light of day appear.
yes,
So, I would love it, but I don't believe it's so.
it'd be interesting if it was like Fafnir, Freyr. Well, actually, Freyr's already out. Fafnir, who? There's someone else was missing.
We're missing. It's Njorther from book 7.
Oh, right.
Okay. Well, they have
Old man.
options, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a couple to catch up on.
Anyways, I'm just trying to say, this hero is just not enough in the current meta. It doesn't fit enough. Not useless. Absolutely not going to
Yes.
say that. A Gale Force team. So, if it were up to me, I feel like the easiest fix was make her Astra, then all the big complaints are gone. Give her one extra movement, then she can be deployed in more than just ether raids.
Or just move the Canto into her weapon so she's more flexible and or her C slot, because some C slots do that now.
Okay.
Just do that, and yeah, make her Astra. That's all I could really have said, and that would fix her up.
Well, no, you missed
Obviously.
one. Change the claw already. Change all flyer claws to update it to a new generation.
Okay, yes. I really would like that. Those two would at least make her more than workable, but yes, I would like to see Beast Flyers get a fix. Or not a fix, but just an update.
Yeah.
Because even Beast Armors, I think, are fine. Disencounter on Transform is fine. Just fix Beast Flyers, because moving +1 status is not the big cheese as it used to be.
No.
Especially with Stall.
You have a hero
Not
moving
really.
2 extra spaces now. Why can't she move just 1 more space? Come on.
Technically, you could have 2 units with moving extra spaces with Crom, or all of them with Nurgle.
I think they still might
Yeah.
as well. If they're going to do flyers, they might as well do a small update to the armors as well. It would look weird not to.
It would, but it is still Disencounter.
Right.
I'll pass them.
Okay.
It
But
is.
Flyers, please.
But I think that sums it up. There's too many issues. Like, most heroes have, like, 1 or 2 issues. Like, Sigurd, for example, he does have issues. He has a low res. But that's probably the only thing you can hold against him, because everything else is bullshit. You know?
Pretty much.
Too much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, honestly, I think that's the only major one. And I guess he could die in weird situations initiating like good Breath of Life 4 stuff, but you know.
Sure.
Yeah, like basically the usual anti-AoE tech will tend to work against him, but that's just all AoEs.
But That's not common
the
either.
Rollies meant no. I mean outside of Hathram, but still, that's it. But realistically, no. Sigurd does exactly what he's supposed to do and does it right. Can he lose? Yes, but that's not the point. The point is that he does well in his strengths and has weaknesses. On the other hand, Resvelger, she does okay in her strengths. And I guess not as obvious of a weakness as 17 res, but her weaknesses are still pronounced enough where
her
very exploitable.
weakness is literally every bow, by the way. Every
Well,
current
yes.
generation bow will smash her.
That
yeah.
is the flyer thing, unfortunately.
36 defense is funny. Bernadetta would
Bernadetta,
absolutely
nice.
destroy Resvelger. It's... Jeez. Yeah, not even a chance that Bernadetta would be a living situation, so... And that's the only archer that really matters, so... Ooh, well.
This is why I'm so confused by this hero. She's not doing enough. And it's so easy to figure out how she could do more. And this is what bothers me the most, because if they were going to hold on to like this exact hero 6 months ago, you should have released her 6 months ago or something like that. That's what I
Yeah,
truly believe in.
honestly, if she was midpoint, I'd probably have been fine with that.
Yeah.
I still would have wished she's Astra because I mean, I don't run a lot of Mythics in my Gale Force comps anymore because, again, most of them are out of date.
Yep.
But Mythics aplenty for Gale Forcing in Light. Astra, that strategy is just, I have Winter Railguard. That's all I can really work with.
Yeah.
Mythics.
Speaking of which, we keep talking about Gale Force. Why does Gale Force teams matter anymore? I'm genuinely being serious, because if you have Felix, you have Sigurd, you could just run these two together and you're done. You don't have to think about much at all at that point.
Gale Force is often, at least from what I see, people do it for the consistency of just being able to kind of run through teams and not have to worry about, okay, I have to always counter this one unit, or I have to, play around this. Of course, there are counters to Gale Force on certain defense teams, but
I think you'd be foolish to counter it because there's so few Gale Forcers out there.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that
You
is
counter
because
those
there's not
two.
right, but it's because there's not too much counterplay put there in general. If you have the luxury of running a Gale Force team, you tend to do pretty well for yourself. At least that's how I've seen it.
This season, I ran the new Sigurd and Leon, and it was just so friggin' free. It's so easy. Everything is so...
Oh, God.
Because I get a snipe too, and I get to kill one of Leon, and then disable. And everything's... It's so... It's to my benefit. Everything's easy now, but I'm so frustrated playing this because this is just bullshit. Like, there's no thinking involved. Virtually, it's just free. I'm not saying I don't lose, but like, it's so free now.
No, absolutely. I mean, I run Felix on Gale Force, and unless the team is very competent, in which case they probably have something that absolutely tanks Felix for a savior.
Yeah.
At least once. Or good trap placement. I just walk him in. Oh, there's a gravity trap? Oh well. Passive action, Gale Force, Gale Force, Gale Force if I don't run Gust or an AoE.
Yeah.
And retreat.
Yeah.
Maybe have Sigurd Ring.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Exactly. Like, this is why I'm saying... This game just... The design philosophies of this game no longer match with how far the power creep has come. They never imagined these things, and it's so obvious at this point. The way the game plays right now is... Could you imagine... Imagine trying to explain Fire Heroes in 2024 to someone who just started in 2017. They'd be like, what the hell are you on? The fact that you even said more than 2 sentences, they would already be questioning you. Because back then it was just like...
Well, I mean, yeah.
Come on.
Imagine not being +4, -4, and that's it. 2017 people had it, you could argue too light, but still. Even if you talk to a 2019 person, it would be... Just tell them about Micaiah, and that's all I need.
Oh, yeah,
really say.
yeah. She blew our minds. Everyone was so hype about her.
Oh, yes.
Alright. Anyways, let's sum it up. So, are you pulling?
No, I don't think so.
I think this banner's dead. There's no one.
I mean,
I don't think
on the
it'll
one
be
hand,
good, yeah.
I go for every mythic, so I'll probably
Good luck.
try, but I wouldn't be disappointed not getting Crestfelger.
Fair.
How very quirky of you.
Oh,
I like having
Chaos
bonus
weird.
mythics.
Quirky. Okay.
Quirky.
Or no, not quirky the last
You
part,
get
of
a-
what you said, but quirky to someone on every mythic banner, no matter what.
I mean, I don't have to
Are you
worry
hitting
about
on
bonus
Legion or
units.
something? What is this?
No, it's not hating.
I'm
it's
so
just-
quirky,
no.
guys, apparently.
Hitting. Oh my god. Alright.
Just a little bit of jibing.
No, besides these other two banners have been too much importance to me to go for it anyways. As
Yeah.
much.
The timing is just so bad on this banner. But it feels like the timing, so a lot of banners have just been really bad.
Anytime there's any skills for the assassins, I'm sorry, my hands are tied. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, again,
Classic.
the one thing I think they should have just done, it should have been Nidhogger this
Neathogre.
yeah, Neathogre this month, because if they did that, Savior is a field that people have demand for, especially with how much it's been weakened. So having a current generation new Savior hero would help a lot. You could argue about Breath
Adrian,
of
what do
Life
you
stuff, but
what do
Savior
you think about the
just
Savior meta
came
right
back
now?
into meta, but it's only because of Fjorm. So
This is
more
true.
to enrich in that would be nice.
yes, and
We
then
need more shield fighter.
Marnie just came as well, so it is hitting a
It's
resurgence.
utterly absurd.
But
We need more sources of the good, of the tier 4 saves and shield fighter, and once we start getting that, it'll completely come into its own. It's already started, but that'll help.
yeah. But that's what bothers me so much, because we're just players and we can figure this out. All this would have made more sense. But alright.
I mean, I guess on the other hand, it means that November, you like saviors? Have two! And also, this one kills saviors.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh boy, that assigned decoy status is dumb.
Okay, now with the rest of the banner, I think the banner's fairly interesting. I just can't recommend it.
It's fairly okay. It's an okay banner, but I will be immediately honest, it's one of the weaker ones we've seen in a while.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
I feel bad saying this. The two new OCs, they already feel like they're dated. How old are they?
Ask anybody who plays Summoner Duels, and Hathorn is not.
Okay.
But they are 3 months?
You might say that.
I mean, that should make sense.
She's been a pushover.
I like Aetherneer and Hathorn, both quite a bit still. They're not quite as insane as they were on release, but I still find them both very annoying to deal with.
I used to fear them, but now I don't, so that's how I view it.
You don't fear Aetherneer anymore? I still find him very annoying to deal with.
If you see my Aetheraids defense team, it's a full coverage team with Emblem. Sorry, the last team I just did was with Dark Season, so I'm talking about that. They have
so
no
trying
coverage.
to tank with them.
They have.
Like.
Okay, I'll just show you the team in a moment, because I put Sigurd, Celica, and Leon with double Pathfinder, and I have Micaiah and Embla as well. So the entire idea is their entire bottom line is in coverage zone.
Yep. Yeah, that's. Whew.
So I don't have to worry about a character like him, because they'll just kill every other hero.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that. If nothing else, I will say Aetherneer is a monster to kill, but he is about as combat focused as the combat mythic guts. So take that as you will.
Yeah, aside from the bonus doubler thing.
Yeah. So here, real quick, here's my team, guys. We built it last week, and it only had one true loss this season, where one guy wiped it. I didn't get to watch the battle. I suspect they Gale Forced it. Because to beat a team like this, you have to Gale Force it.
You have to Gale Force this, and in fairness, not that hard to start it. I just walk up to Sigurd.
Does Felix kill Sigurd?
He targets res.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'd imagine so.
That's the only...
And, yeah, no override.
Well, again, I'm not going to worry about stuff like that, because there's no way to guard against everything. Before someone says it, I'm not going to guard against Gale Force. Because if I do that, I break the team. So that would make no sense.
I mean, my honest thing, I've been kind of weaning off Embla a bit. I'll probably start using her again once Savior takes off for real again, but until then, I'm just kind of abusing the fact that I can just run more flexible units in that slot.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to beat the average player, and this will beat the average player, so...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you do run Savior, good luck.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, it hasn't been a worry. But yeah, like, I get it, in other people's situations, but the way the game is set up right now, of all these new hyper-movement characters, like Celica, like Sigurd...
coverage on the bottom line is one of the strongest ways to go about abusing this meta.
Yeah, I really think so. Like, that's how I would play it. But yeah, anyways, so they're... I'm not going to say they're bad characters. There's no one bad, it's just... luster.
I'll just say, statistically, Hathorn is currently the 4th most used unit in Summoner Duels at a 79% usage rate. Fun fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I see her a lot there, too.
I'm not going to see it like that, but...
She's been that way for, like, the past 3 seasons. Sigurd is number 1, but who would have thought?
Really?
Aetherneer, however, is only 21% usage, so I can understand your sentiments there.
Right. No, I see Heathorns, but she's not scary at all, I think. Like, she...
No.
Her support is more so the thing that is scary.
I will
and
give
her
them
being hard to kill.
Yeah.
They made Hathorn exactly the way she should be. Hard to kill, worthless in combat. Great support.
She's not doing damage, but yeah, supportive, hard to kill.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, as for the rest of the banner, so green, pretty good. Blue, Veil kind of slows it down.
Honestly, just okay.
And Ursula's a good AoE nuke, but She fell off so fast. I don't even understand why.
Mostly because of a lack of Kanto.
Oh yeah, she's committed
That's
to
why.
fight.
Yeah, she's very committed. I mean, Sigurd Ring fixed that, but there's a unit right next to her that does it more easily.
Right. And Colors is okay. And the worst thing is finally Breath of Life is back, but they buried it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
a little
if,
sad.
if you need Emblem still, guys. I mean, I like Ford, but yeah, that's
Ford is a funny unit, but not exactly meta.
Alright, well, then that's the banner. Unfortunately, this is as easy of a skip as I've ever seen it. Especially because of the timing.
I can't argue that. Not to mention, if you do want to save some orbs, then there is the likely double mythic banner in November, which will likely have some serious value to it.
That too.
I will say at least this much, I think. In a weird sense, I almost want to say that colorless is a stronger color than blue.
Which is fair, I think.
I can see that, yeah, sure.
Like, I respect Mythic a lot, and I think that everybody there pretty much is a better unit than Hrisvelg, or at least on par.
Well,
I would say Alear is a little
Alear-
questionable
Alear-
in terms of being actually better, but I generally agree otherwise, yeah.
Well, that doesn't even matter. Why are we even talking about this so much? I just realized, like, 6 months from now, we're not even care about these heroes. So who cares?
I think we still might care
Eighth
about
Rune will be fine.
Eighth Rune, yeah. But the others, not as much.
Because, let's be fair, Nevalier or whatever name, the archer dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you believe for a moment he's not going to get power crept? Like, come on.
I mean, yes and no, because
the
Sigurd...
Kanto is going to be hard
Okay,
pressed
sure.
to
Is
get
due for
power
a yearly
crept.
alt, and the only
Yeah,
available
not to mention
slot is
those
the Ninja
4
banner.
turns of
Ninja
pulse up.
Eldogard announced
There are
1 week
teams
from
that
now who
love
break the game
cooldown
Mince Mart. They
support.
want us to save orbs for
Mythic
their
is
inside.
pretty good roll compression in that regard. Very offensive, high mobility support.
They're going to
But-
do better.
They might do less of one thing and more of another. That's what Sigurd is.
I think they're going to do it better. Yeah, Sigurd's a good example of that, exactly. And then, of course, Corrin and Alear is another good examples of that. Like, they're both, on paper, really nice dragons. And they don't really matter in the current meta anymore.
Alear, I strangely have respect more than I should, but maybe I just run less Fatal Smoke than I should. I don't like Corrin at all.
Well,
Corrin is just not good.
I am probably willing to say that he is one of the worst units released this year that has premium value attached to him.
Yeah.
I would agree.
And I'm sorry to say that,
Yeah,
Corrin
but
fans.
that's
Yeah.
how...
That's sad.
That's why this is so sad, because 6 months, 8 months, like a year, like we should be able to expect characters to like carry their weight for at least a year, right? Like,
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're not
One
there.
would hope so. Unfortunately, Corrin, especially, just I don't think he was impressive even on release. So.
We do get those kinds of units, just it's a very select bunch of them, and you probably can see those coming.
What are you
from
talking
a
about? We
mile
just
away.
got another one in them.
Wait, which banner?
This banner, Hrisvelg.
Oh. I meant just units who have good permanent value, not
Oh.
units that are gonna fall off. I meant
Okay.
the ones that
The
will be
opposite.
able to test the time. Units like
Do-
Felix.
Do any of these heroes stand the test of the time on this banner?
On this banner, I mean,
Hathor.
Emblem technically already did.
Emblem did.
Um,
Okay, sure.
Hathorn, I think that
Probably will,
a lot
but
of whales will tell you.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
probably
think.
will.
The reason I don't like Hathor is that she doesn't fit in a lot of the teams I have in mind, so I wouldn't do it.
That's fair.
But
Well, yeah, for some people, she's not going to be as helpful as for others.
She is tech in the extreme. For those who want it, it's invaluable. For those who don't, you can go without it.
because I feel like
But
I feel like it's easier to counter a hero like that with, firepower and things like that. Whereas
Yeah, you can.
whereas other players, whereas like dealing with hyper movement or something like that, there are more preparations for it nowadays, but
Yeah.
you're more likely to catch more players with that stuff.
right, a playstyle like Hathorn's, I mean, you can be surprising with some unusual like mobility tech, but realistically, since she's more defensive, the team becomes more defensive by nature.
Yeah.
And it's easier to play around defensive strategies, generally, until you run into a Brave Alphonse with 90 defense and Divine Nectar healing, and you can't even damage him, and you lose because you just can't damage him. I didn't have that
oddly
happen to me.
specific.
That's oddly specific. Yeah, I would say that would probably
Twice.
indicate a problem of.
Was it from the same person or two different people?
Oh, two different seasons where I just got stalled by Alphonse.
Well, then there you
That
go.
sounds painful.
Yeah, have firepower on your teams, guys. I'll tell you that.
There you go.
Because otherwise, yeah, Hathorn could be the one that you lose to. That could happen.
All right, but then I would basically just say it's just those two because I don't buy that other heroes on this banner long term would even make it.
I still
A
love
year
it.
maybe,
Vale on offense.
But 2 years, no way in hell.
Yeah.
Because we don't
Vale on
have.
offense is great. That's
Sure.
good, huh?
We don't have the luster of heroes before. I remember. This is gonna sound so old, but even
Right.
years after Brave Hector's release, everyone still understood.
I still.
Oh,
use
yes.
Brave Hector. Up until, what now, 2021? 2022?
And he can kind of work it out with Shield Fighter, which is funny.
Yeah. That put some life in him, but now there are better options. Now there are a lot better options. So
Yeah,
That's true, yeah.
that happened.
Yes. I just miss the days of like a little bit of a stability in terms of your investments, because
Yeah. Because, I mean, again, sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes a skill comes around and suddenly a unit doesn't feel terrible anymore. Look at Lagoo's friend.
I get that argument, but it's so expensive to even get the skills. What I really want from
Correct.
this game is to have an easier way to attain skills, because
Alright.
you can't, like, imagine how you feel. Okay, so say me. Imagine how I would feel. I have a +10 Brave Marth, and
Yep.
I put bonus doubler, new bonus doubler on him.
Just a bonus doubler. Yep.
Quite an investment.
Yep.
And then it doesn't matter because you just dies to a Felix, base Felix, because it worked. Like,
Yeah.
how would you feel? Like, you would feel like complete
Very
shit.
bad. Yes.
Because it
I
doesn't.
mean, I guess you could argue Gust would fix that to some degree, but not.
Then I would
fully.
break his sword, because then I won't set up his. Like, he won't naturally set up his effects anymore because he doesn't have the
Unless you.
stat
mark them.
stacking.
But then, yeah, he doesn't set up the stats, so you have to figure out that now.
Yeah.
So that's a fun
Because
laundry right there.
all of that was stuff on my mind. I got to use, because it's expiring today. What is that mode again? Where you gotta use random people's heroes?
Binding Worlds?
Yeah, or sorry, the other one of the Warfront thing.
United
United
Warfront.
Warfront.
Yeah, I got to use a Marth using all the fancy new skills, and he sucks because it doesn't work with his sword and his ideas at all.
Ah, right.
Because
No.
like, why do I need no quarter on him? It doesn't do anything. Why do I need Lagoo's friend on him? It doesn't do anything. And debones doubler.
Oh,
why is
well,
it?
okay, that's dumb.
Yeah, why do I need that? Because he doesn't buff himself anymore. So like nothing works. He just dies.
Also, 2 DR pierces. He should just run Lagoo's friend, Shining Emblem.
Right. But it was just like even if you have new skills, it's not a guarantee. And even if you did put on them, that character can still suck.
Yeah.
So-
Yes, very easily.
Or at
People
the very
try.
least, not do what they look like they should be able to do. I mean, look at Attuned Erica, who is essentially doing Marth's idea and still very exploitable.
Okay, that's really
Because
sad because she's
it's
not
just-
even that old.
I mean, I
Yeah,
say this
that's
as though I
true.
didn't. My SDS run was ended by one, and
Yeah,
just
she
her.
can still be
but-
very annoying. She's not to be completely overlooked, for sure.
But there's a reason she isn't talked about as much as some of the other infantry super tanks, and it's just
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, no,
only
that playstyle
gonna
went.
progress from there, which is why it's all awesome. Anyways, whatever. Everyone knows power creep is bad. Is bad in this game, but it's just it feels like everyone knows it's bad in this game except for IS. You know what I mean?
There are a lot of things they love ignoring.
I've said this before, but I watched a documentary on Taco Bell, and why Taco Bell, and this sounds crazy, you guys are like, why are you talking about Taco Bell? Taco Bell never does coupons, and if they do, it's very minor coupons, very few items, and for a very short amount of time. Why? Because they don't want to erode their long-term value. For example, you would never go to McDonald's without, or like Wendy's or whatever, without checking out their coupons anymore, or buying from the value meal, because that's all you would ever do. You would never pay full price for anything. Because it
No.
doesn't make sense anymore.
That's why I love the Frosty coupons.
Yeah, but that's because you're used to coupons. Like, you're used to having ways to drop the price. But if you establish that kind of culture, then nothing works out. Because long term, you're going to suffer for it. And that's what's happening in Fae. Because of the power creep. Long term, they're suffering for it. Because no one has faith in anything. And therefore, they won't pull on anything. And if no one pulls on anything, how are you going to make your money? So... I like how they always show these teams with all these old-ass heroes that don't ever fight anymore. Oh my god, alright.
Yeah, and then, of course, the one time they don't. I remember that.
Yes.
You were like, well, why is this happening now?
Well, I don't think they should beat a new hero, but I don't think they should show super old heroes. There is a middle ground, to be clear.
Ephraim is from this year!
Yes, he is. That is probably the best thing they showed, but like... Duel Thor?
I mean, it's a weird comp. I can't argue.
Fallen Edelgard? It's not even realistic.
If anything, they gave a good comp to show her middling damage because that was like no true damage scaling.
Okay, sure.
There's one unit with bonuses and 3 penalties.
By the way, the Ephraim thing really got to me because it was just like, why is she beating Ephraim? He was supposed to be really, really good at this.
Rudy R. And a lot of damage, because, fun fact, she only would have done like 20 damage without her weapon. Sticks damage scaling.
Okay.
And for perspective, by the way, my dark defense is kind of bonus heavy. If she were to attack into my savior, Marnie, she would be doing 150 true damage with just her own penalty spread.
Sure.
True damage. Just want to give a little perspective there.
Yeah, but I'm surprised we didn't mention this, but historically you don't want an offensive Mythic, because you can't buff the Mythic as easily as the other heroes. So historically, this isn't even the role that they should be fulfilling.
I mean, yes and no, because on the other hand, if you were to... Offensively, it doesn't matter as much, it's more so about your HP, which I guess does matter if you're an offensive unit to a certain degree, but, I mean, I guess put it this way, I would say that if Asker were not so supportive, it would be worse for him to not be a Mythic, or to be a Mythic.
He's more of a generalist, but Hirschfelger is obviously supposed to be predominantly offensive.
Yeah. The fact that he's a generalist Mythic would be more annoying, because you would lose so much HP, and that's where most of your value is.
Well, but the new Asker is just the definition. You can't kill him, and he does so much, so I don't know. How are you playing the game?
That is... New Asker, I am scared of. I'll just say that. I've seen him a couple times in Soren teams, and I sob a little on the inside.
By the way, have you guys dealt with heroes in the recently where you're just like, I don't know how to win? No, I'm not saying... Like, usually where, hey, you lose the fight, but you know what to do next time. No. Doesn't it feel like this year we keep bumping into heroes that you just can't beat? There's no counter.
I literally outlined that I couldn't beat Alphonse.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Because
Alphonse is an extreme case, but yes.
Because when Ike released, that was the case for most people. I know it's not the case anymore, so people will try to take that away, but you pointed out Alphonse, and we talked about Asker. In my eyes, there's at least 3 heroes that you really can't beat. Consistently beat. You might have one counter or something like that, but good luck, you know.
Yeah. You have to make a team that at least has them in mind, or else you run into that unit and you're boned. I mean, objectively speaking, it's hard to get those circumstances, but technically Marnie could be that unit. If you do not counter her directly, like, for example, a Weaving Fighter Marnie could technically, objectively counter Felix.
I hope she is as hyped up as everyone's making her.
I've been using her since she released, and I can say with confidence that she has been one of the most... Yeah?
Long term. Okay. I know she works right now.
That's fair.
But so did...
That's fair.
What's his name again?
Murdoch.
So did Murdoch. Yep. And I regretted it after. Like, you would hope with that much investment, you would be happy after a year. After a year, I was not happy.
I think
within 3 months,
I
was having problems.
Okay, well then there you go.
I think Marty will last a lot better than Murdoch at the very least. I have confidence in that. I don't think she will, be the unit in,
She's not going to be top dog savior. But...
No, by EOS, she's not going to be like, oh, wow, like, the best savior in the game still, thank God. But she is going to be, yeah, I think, good for a while.
Let's just put it in perspective. How many orbs do you think you'd have to commit to building a proper Marnie?
In my case, 30. But in most cases...
If you can get lucky, like, technically speaking, it could take you, like, what, 15 orbs to build a hero? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It depends a bit on if you have to summon for all the fodder or if you have any of it beforehand.
Because, let's put it this way, there are 2 skills that you might want to make Marnie competent. If you're using her outside of Arena, Shield Fighter and Savior stuff. Outside of it, Weaving Fighter and Savior stuff. But you might also
mean
want
inside Arena, Weaving, yeah.
Sorry, inside Arena, yeah, you're going to want Weaving Fighter and then just save stuff. But that means that you're going to have to pull for Fjorm or Byleth, realistically, no matter what.
That's right.
And Byleth...
Not even accessible to
reruns
2 heroes, by the way.
You know what's annoying?
Yeah,
On top of
they're
being
both
objectively
season locked,
okay,
and one of them
it's
is
almost
a
like the
duo.
Aegis
They're both
Spellverse
duos,
prevent
sorry.
Miracle Effect is meant to allow
And
heroes to
Byleth, I would say,
already-
is easier to
Just my
get
hatred
because
for
they've been
what's
on
talking about.
quite a few banners, including some with raised rates.
Jimo, you're so
But
funny.
if you don't have it, then it's tough luck. You're pretty much stuck with his actual rerun now. And
Yes,
Fjorm,
that is true.
you get like 2 reruns, maybe 3. And then you just have to hope that Shield Fighter comes around again.
Yeah.
Which Weaving Fighter didn't.
Which is why I'm trying to say it's not easy to do this at all. You have to plan for it and you have to commit to it. And if it doesn't work out, you feel extra shitty about it because you had to work really hard for it.
Yep.
Which is why giving it to a rearmed unit like Grima can help, but yeah, again, kind of.
Then you have to get multiple Grimas to make that.
Yeah,
Right.
so
You
that's
don't
the
always have
problem.
that luxury.
I really, again, there's no reason for this game to be this hard on for other games, the skills in this game that you skill inherit are supposed to be the equivalent to equipment. In other games, you can just move equipment with no cost. But in Fae, you give up a hero to move equipment, essentially. If you look at it from that perspective, it's so hard. It's so negative. And it's just, there should be better ways to do this. And they technically did, because we have rearmed and tuned heroes and whatnot. But also no, because they're not accessible.
Well, yes, but actually no, as they say.
And even if you want to argue it was, and you're a big fat whale, there's a limit. There's a clear limit.
Yep.
So, yeah, there are better solutions. I really, really want them to just do one. This might sound crazy for you, like 1 skill a month. A player can work towards getting any skill of the month any skill in a month. Not like
that would be nice.
Not like how we have it right now, where it's a random, like with EP codes and it's random. Like a player gets to choose, and that might sound crazy, but that's exactly what you need to do to keep players playing this game long term, because they at least are working towards something. I don't know what I'm working towards in this game.
Good goal.
Most people don't know what they're working towards this game. So it's. I know they're gonna lose money off of it, or sorry, that's how they view it.
I
don't know if it's actually gonna happen, because I feel like if you lose these players long term, you'll lose more money. But okay. But yeah, that's what I would do, and I think a lot of other games have ways of dealing with this stuff, and they deal with it quite well. Anyways,
yeah, Faye just doesn't like, well, specifically Nintendo and NIS don't like doing things that way, which is on them, I think.
Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna try and end this off on a good note. I asked the chat this earlier on. For a final topic, what's something positive we can say about Fire Emblem Heroes? And I promise you all, I have been trying to be positive about the game, and the only positive thing I can say is, it's still alive. Like, that's the only truly positive thing I can still say about it.
Well, again, I like the free-to-play units, and Marnie has only bolstered that argument, I feel like.
As somebody who loves GHBs and loves villains, I am satiated in that regard, outside of builds. But in general, I can definitely agree to that much. And for what it is worth, more so from a third-person perspective most of the time,
yeah,
I think that the Summoner Duels meta is interesting to watch these days, because it's much more variable, surprisingly.
I could show you guys a match where I outplay this guy. I think he was even auto-battling at a certain point because he gave up. And then I couldn't kill his Corrin. My entire team could not kill his Corrin. My entire team could not kill his Myrrh, the new Corrin, male Corrin.
Oh. Yeah.
And then therefore I lose. That's literally the match. I killed all his other heroes, but there was 2 heroes I couldn't kill, and he eventually won. and you might argue to me that I could have still won because I could have just outran him because one's armored and the other one's infantry. Yeah, should it occur to me that my entire team can't kill 1 unit?
That's fair.
It's a very frustrating feeling. I know that experience.
Because on retrospect, if I show you guys this match, you would all just say, why didn't you just run away the entire time? And I would counter with, why would you expect me to believe 5 heroes can't kill 1?
Yeah.
But that's what happened. So I could have still won, I just ran away, but that's all the hero was my Kronia team, which is obviously a very dated and niche team.
Yeah, it is.
That shit works.
Unfortunately.
It's just it doesn't work enough anymore because there are heroes that they just can't kill.
Rudyard definitely was the nail in the coffin from using Kronia strats.
Yeah.
Much as it was fun.
And it makes me really sad because Kronia, I think, is in terms of all the heroes I've ever had, the one I got to use the longest.
Yeah, her niche was so unique and never got truly replicated.
Even now it hasn't.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys the mallow real quick. It says I lost, but the reality was I won. Until I couldn't kill him, then I lost because I threw myself at him.
You won until you lost, yes.
I mean, that's actually kind of how I lost my Erica matches. What was it?
By the way, look at my team. Who's the newest character on my team? I think you guys know.
You lost a legendary male Corrin after
Halloween
Corrin was asked
Hector!
what's irony at its finest.
It's not irony. It's just how the game works. He is ass. But look at my heroes. They're all old.
I mean, Brave Self is technically new now, but...
Given a new lease
I
on
do
life,
want you to
guess.
know that I didn't have his refine in this instance. And even then, I was kicking this guy's ass even without that stuff.
And that's impressive.
Look.
Indeed.
Doesn't know what Hector does. I hedge him immediately. So at the moment he gets the main of his team in, I'm gonna burst on him. I set up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just waiting for him. He has no respect for anything. Right? Why would you respect this team? You know, it's
I mean, it's very gimmicky.
Yeah, it's a sell-off. It's a sell-off without a refine. You got Corrin, he should tank the shit out of this.
Yep.
Like, it does. Look, none of this shit matters. Okay, so obviously I can't kill him immediately, but he doesn't remember that dual Hector can do 20 damage.
Right.
Throws in the Govig because of course she can move all that far, and then of course all those extra turns.
Yep. Although
oh wait, this might not have to refine. That's right. And she dies because she took the damage.
Oh.
Why did he throw Skullvig again?
I don't know.
What? I guess he just really wanted a wall break note for later.
I think he just made the assumption he would win there.
Oh wait,
yeah.
Was the unit you killed the Corrin? So was it the Alir that you couldn't kill?
Oh, sorry, it was the Lear I couldn't kill. My mistake.
Oh, okay.
At least it wasn't because of a miracle.
Okay, but look at this point in the game.
Yeah, Layla's dead.
It's 5 against 2, so I lose the sell-off here. That's fine.
Yeah, that's inevitable.
It's 5 against 2. Sorry, it was 5 against 2. I just lost one. Now it's 4 against.
It's still 4 against 2.
It's 4 against 1. So, he didn't cover. I think he gave up at this point. He didn't cover. So I'm like, I'm gonna use Hector. Because Hector, that's Hector over Refine. So I'm like, I'll chip him down and I'll finish him off with a Crony was the idea.
Right.
Or I can Miracle of Air, right? Like, that's the idea. Yep. No, I can't do anything. And I realize I'm gonna get cut off from the top.
So you're just gonna get pinched.
Yeah. If I threw the Hector down, I might have had a chance of winning, because if he goes for the Hector, I could have just ran away the entire time.
Yeah.
But again, it was literally 5 against 1 because he had to hit the self and the self got a counterattack. So it was literally 5 against 1.
Yep.
But it was already too late. I already lost because As long as Mur keeps moving left, I can't kill Mur. And I can't kill Alir, and I lose. That's the game. So the characters are bad. But because the power creeps come so far, even if you have a gimmicky team that you can fully set up, the Cron's obviously fully built. It doesn't matter, though.
Right.
By the way,
I will say, why were you using air? Huh?
Air, I didn't change this team. I just did this battle.
Oh, okay.
Because
back when air was actually good.
This was back when she was good.
Yeah.
Could I change her? Yes, I can, but I don't take summoner duels seriously anymore because you guys know I am saving to +10 hero, which means I cannot pull on every freaking new banner.
Nope.
So I don't even attempt to do it. But when I see a match, and I know when I see a match like this, I'm obviously gonna try because it's just like this guy isn't trying, so I should be able to beat him.
Yeah, and his
until you find out, wait a second, I can't kill anything, then I lose.
Yep, I've had a couple of those instances.
Yeah.
Sometimes realistically, a lot of the time I just blame myself because, oh my god, I'm stupid when it comes to some of these matches.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I'll come into contact with a unit that I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna quick math this, but it should be a little more realistic than it ends up being.
Yep. Now, this isn't the case anymore because I got Celica and I got Self in the last 30 days. So I can put together much better teams.
Right.
But prior to this, there wasn't really much I could do. Like, and then we pulled for Duel Leon like 2 months ago. Like, there wasn't much I could do. Before someone says, why don't you just put Duel Leon on the team? Pick and bans.
Yeah, it's SDS. You gotta ban
I don't have... I don't get to run whatever I want. But I looked at the teams he had available, and I was just like, I could totally gimmick this dude. And I almost did. So...
Yeah, no, all things considered, at the very least, it put in more work than I would have expected Kronya team to work in this day and age.
Yeah, but this is why it bothers me so much, because I worked so hard on Kronya. You know, she has everything that she could ever want, and it won't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
You got so far, and it didn't even
besides
matter.
Nelsie Echo, I'm imagining, but you know.
Okay, except for Nelsie Echo, but outside of that, she has everything she would want.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, but I ditched her. Yeah. Unfortunately. She had a good run at the very least, but yeah, a run to an end. We even had to do that to Nemesis, at least to some degree, in Summoner Duels. Still use them all the time, but in Summoner Duels, yeah, not as easy as it was when he got his refined.
The male corn is not trash. I'm not saying he's trash. I don't literally mean a character's trash. He's just not good. Not good in this game still means you beat 90% of the cast if you're a hero released in the last year. All right, come on, let's be frank here.
Halloween Flame is trash. Sorry, not sorry. Melkorn is just
like you do not respect these heroes. That's what we're trying to get across. When people say trash, they don't mean literally trash.
No.
You guys aren't Sugma. You don't need me to explain this to you guys.
Well, here's what hyperbole is, chat, and we'll go over that today.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, just to sum it up, what do you guys want from Fire Emblem Heroes? Have you guys ever asked yourselves that? Because in this day and age, I don't know what I want anymore. I wanted to +10 heroes so I can be consistently top scoring in Arena, and then I had my bubble pop last week, or 2 weeks ago. Because of double legendary heroes, I can't even stay. I can't even go up to tier 21 depending on the season. But I definitely can't stay.
Be a memory.
Staying is definitely complicated.
Yes.
Anyways, I'm just trying to say, like, that was my goal. That was my goal since I first started Fire Emblem Heroes in 2017. Top level arena every time. And back then, that was the only thing. So, this is my first goal ever. 7 years later, I still cannot achieve. And in fact, it looks like it's further than ever. You know? I understood as a free-to-play player starting out that my goal was never to collect everything, so I'm not like Mr. Crazy here. So I never had that. I never had any grandiose aspirations. It was just top-level arena. And in 2024, that's still my only goal, and it's impossible now. So I don't know what I'm doing. Now, before someone says, why don't you quit? You do many things in your life without a goal, okay? You do not have to have a goal.
Yep. Nice to. Don't have to.
Yeah, like I can enjoy a book, and my goal wasn't to read a book, right? Or my goal wasn't to read like. This shouldn't need an explanation. You don't need to go. I can cook something, and my goal wasn't to get better at cooking, for example. Like I don't have to be a master chef, you know. Just to explain things, because every time we talk that isn't positive, people take it as, well, why don't you just quit? That's not the point.
No.
But yeah, it is just because whenever you do something long term, wouldn't you have a goal? Like, isn't there something? Like, if you go to school for 10 years, there was a goal. Education, learning things, graduating, getting a degree, goals, right? That's obvious. But let's say a job. Even if it's not to better yourself and to like contribute towards a company and to be a part of something and working towards something, it's literally money. You know?
Yeah. Boilerplate option right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and even in games, like when I play Smash, I want to get better at a character. That's my goal. You know?
It helps a lot to have a goal.
Yeah. I don't know of anything I do long term, as long as Fire Emblem Heroes, that I don't have a goal in anymore.
And the problem, with Faye is that you had a goal, and now that goal is
literally
becoming
unattainable.
Pretty much, out of reach.
Yeah, because it's not like in other gacha games, it's the same thing. No, in other gacha games, I have goals, and I'm still working towards them, and they still look achievable. Or in other cases, I've achieved them. It's just Faye. Literally. But that's why I'm asking you guys. Because otherwise, I don't think I think some of you guys have some
to
stuff.
spoil my favorites with new skills. Yarn and Rinka get all the new toys.
Yeah.
I wish I had the money you have to do this, Raymond. I wish I did. And even if I did, for example, you guys know how much I like Marth. I freaked out about him making Choose Your Legends. I plus 10 him. He means a lot to me. Even if I spoiled him, he would still suck.
Compared to the modern heroes,
Everyone smashes him. He can't beat Ike. No matter what happens, he can't beat Ike.
No, that one I can't even argue with.
He can't beat Felix.
That one, mostly. I think there's a weird scenario where he could, but
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if he goes Gust, I'm dead. It doesn't matter. He's not a carry anymore. You cannot have a hyper carry that gets beat by most of the recent meta units. That doesn't work. He can't tank the same heroes anymore. So it doesn't matter what I give him. But yeah, playing for your favorites, I respect that. That means a lot. Unfortunately for me, it doesn't work.
That's understandable.
That's a good portion of what I do.
That's what I do. I will say Legion puts in more work than he probably should, but yeah, there's a limit to that. God knows how much Clarice is useless. And as a final boss enjoyer, ups and downs. Ups and downs, to say the least.
I think Arena would be way more fun if they got to bring one of the items from Arena Salt into each arena battle. Yes! That
would be funny.
It's so friggin' funny to me how often you guys just have better ideas than what we're getting in the game. Yeah, I think we need that. By the way, I didn't finish last night's Bound Hero battle. I gave myself 20 minutes to finish it, and I'd be like, oh, this is easy. I got this. Sharina kept dying to Lapis. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Lapis and Citrine.
Oh, right.
Sharina just kept dying to Lapis. It didn't matter. I doubled dual Peony, and she still couldn't do it. I had Crania chipping. She still couldn't do it. I spent 20 minutes on it, and I was just like, what the fuck? What is this?
I will say, I haven't had any issues with those quests recently because of Hathron.
Oh,
I use Ashtar.
Not Hathron, sorry,
He helps a
Hathor.
lot.
Oh.
Hathor.
Sure,
This map's so hard.
Yeah, she does buff up your unit insanely.
You're right. That I probably should have tried that. Absolutely. But
once you get the dual strike, forget it.
It's not as if I didn't give her support. She had exposure help from Crania. She had chipping from Crania. She had 2 dual peonies, adding 18 more attack. Come on, why do you not win this?
Weaponless sword infantry. No, purposeless sword infantry, which is freaking Defiers, which is defense +5, defense -5.
Just give her Swordbreaker. She dies in one hit.
They do have instant specials and good stats.
I like what I did was I cleared out the entire map except her, and then I had Ashnard support, and with Ashnard's rain effects and rain in his kit, he was able to debuff her a lot and make her pretty easy. So that helped.
Yes.
Honestly, if I didn't Haether in these, Haether, I'm not sure how I would go about a couple of these.
Haether and Haether really are.
Yeah, I hate that.
You realize if it's this rough now, a year from now, it's just gonna get worse. Like, you're gonna have to... These missions are just babysitting, because there's no realistic any way that they can win these fights anymore.
Well, yes, but also my Sharena has speed +3, so it's been babysitting for a long time. I haven't given these guys a skill in years.
Mine is, like...
But you
mine
shouldn't.
is at least
You're
refined
wasting
with
it.
5 flowers.
Oh, yeah,
I think
absolutely
it has, like,
wasting it.
speed defense bond and guard and drives attack.
Speed +3, renewal, attack, spoke. Yeah,
that's what I think you should have on her, because you're not gonna run her arena. You only use her once a month, or twice a month during these bounty battles and to get a kill, so you can get an orb. That's it. There's no there's no way it justifies a commitment.
I have them on builds I made like 3 or 4 years ago, and they do all have the refines at the very least. So
I never refined Anna because that refine sucked.
I refined Alphonse for defense.
So did I.
Oh, also Casey pointed out.
I wish I did Triangle App.
I now have him exactly at range to where he can use Ardent Sack once, and then it gets him exactly into Brazen range for his weapon, and he is Brazen attacked if it's A slot and Seal slot. So he at least can do okay against physical units.
Okay.
Like
that's his gimmick. The other 2 units are just kind of Sharena stacks bonds, and then Anna, like, I give her Fury, and that's it.
Okay, I'm glad it's working for you, but I don't know what happens is when... Again, the Lapis example should have been easy, because that's not a perf here. Yeah, that's not a hero at perf.
Yes, that is true.
And Sheep still lost.
Yeah, and now think about the fact that we have an Ivy and Hortensia BHB. Get Anna to kill Ivy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do these earlier, because I don't think 20 minutes is enough time anymore. But at the same time, god damn, why are they doing this to us? Why do we have to use Sharena, Anna, Alpha? Why? What's stopping them from just using
Asker Trio just in any way because they think they should be important somehow?
Why don't they just change it? Because that's what they should do. This is just miserable at this point.
No, you're expecting IS to be smart and do something nice to people.
Just change them. I love making the most out of those guys because it's stupid to see them work in this day and age.
It would be nice for them to get
unironically.
Something. Jesus Christ.
I get what you're saying.
Unusable.
But for most people, it's babysitting, and babysitting's not fun. That's why you get paid for babysitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't have to do as much babysitting, it would be nice.
Yeah.
So I can see what
I wasn't complaining about this a year ago, but it's getting crazy now.
Either they get better, or you don't have to use them, or both. I mean, I'd take just one of those.
They should make the banner free unit the one to do it. The current banner, free banner. Yeah, that could be
current
interesting.
rail unit. That could be, yeah.
That could be interesting. I'd be down for that.
You mean Ratatosker, for example.
Somnus. Oh my god.
Now the only problem here is that's one unit in one color. And you might run into a green unit to kill with Ratatosker that also has like 60 defense.
I promise you, if we think about this for 20 minutes, we'll solve this easily.
Yeah, or you could just replace one of the units. You could. It's always 2. You have to use like Alphonse and Anna in a.
You know what they could do?
Or something. So they could just take one.
You know what they could do?
Make that the book unit.
Just switch it to all movement types. Do it with all movement types, as in like
that could work too.
Only calves, only armors. Just do all 4 movement types. At least you would. There'd still be a level of challenge there. You would still be fighting the match in different ways. But it wouldn't be
and then one
balls.
of each. As don't remove an orb.
Oh,
all 4 and one of each. So
well,
it's
there you go.
5.
Well, there you go. We just solved it. How easy was that, guys?
I mean, now it takes 5 playthroughs of the map instead of 3 or 2. But you know.
Yeah, but at least it'll be more interesting because you can actually enjoy yourself.
Like, I mean, even as the GHB runs aren't too bad, because at least you get to use the GHB itself.
Sure. But
well, yeah, that's fine.
The point is, like, no one expects these to be hard. They're not meant to be hard. But they are making it hard because they're making us babysit. That's the wrong way to go about it.
Like when the maps are unironically hard. They've had a couple of unironically hard VHBs,
Sure,
but
but they're rare.
yeah, it's when you have to use the Escutrio that things get funny.
Just involved Asker Trail.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we've been talking about this for years. Yes.
Yes,
Why can't we? Why
That
can't
would
they
be
do that?
nice.
Before
Before IS does not like that.
Before someone says like, oh, you know, they would never like it. That's not the norm. They would never. No. In all the freaking gacha games I'm playing, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, the Traveler changes classes as he progresses through different regions. Why? Because he's improving. Oh my god, can you believe
The
that?
Asker Trio never improves. Maybe that's why they're always so useless in the story.
In
But
every
Alphonse
game,
somehow manages to be in the story and to be good.
in every
It's weird.
gacha game, the main character continues to grow.
Yeah.
And so they become meta relevant. Like we can look at Wuthering Waves, look at Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and you can look at the different variants of the main character. There's no reason to do it this way, where they after 7 years they're exactly the same. Okay, sorry, they got to refine, but that's not. Who cares?
Yeah,
at
they
this
got to
point?
refine.
Yeah, one of the first.
Not. Yeah, it was one of the first, and it was just awful.
Just making sure you have to use the opposite color to kill. Example, use blue unit to defeat Lapis. Any blue unit. Yes.
That could also work. I mean, there are a million ways to do it.
Hydro Traveler though. Okay, I'm not about to pretend they were all good. But remember when they first did Geo Traveler? Like that was super fun. Like it makes the characters more interesting to use.
Oh, even I remember that. I think.
Yeah, make a bunch of random ass barrels and trap people. That was fun. What the hell? Anyways, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm trying to be positive. Anyways, I can't tell you how many times in the arena I run in a map where I can't get to other teams. The other team has plus and Brave Felix with Emblem Celica Ring, and I just auto lose. Yes, I don't know if you guys have dealt with that. There's a lot of auto losing going around, which is the most infuriating thing. Like, imagine you play chess, and you haven't even made a move, and it's checkmate.
Yeah, that's one of the few things. I mean, I was just thinking about this today for reasons. One of the biggest things in chess, you make a move, your opponent can react accordingly. You make a move, your opponent can think 3 moves ahead.
Yeah.
And kind of like lay out options.
Who only has a
And Faye,
powerless New Year's old.
sometimes you'll run into things like Felix where it's like, you don't make a move,
And
your
you
opponent makes a
lost.
move, your opponent makes a move, your opponent kills you, your opponent kills you, your opponent kills you, your opponent makes a move, your opponent kills you.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
And the worst part about that is if you're unlucky enough, you just lose. Like you're never
Yeah.
gonna finish the runs. You can spend hours and you just lose. It can
Yeah,
happen
there
that
is an
enough times.
objective way that could happen.
Yeah,
Especially with Felix. Ooh.
it's not just Felix because the new heroes. There's so many new heroes that do this bull crap.
Yeah. Felix in particular because he's very unpredictable, but any unit with warping or self-refresh or refreshes or anything like that.
If I see a
can-
Felix
replicate
as
it.
a rep hero, I leave. I'm not.
Yeah, if I
I'm
see
not
Felix
playing
as the
that.
lead, mercy.
No,
I'm
thank
out of
you.
there.
I'm not risking that because if this is the wrong map, I just lost. So no, thank you.
Yeah.
That's actually why I'm looking forward to Marnie, because if he doesn't have no follow-up, he can't win. But, you know. Blech. Gross.
That'll be nice.
All right. Anyways, I want to just end on a good point, so that's not really gonna happen. So
well.
I do want to say next month's the end of the story, and I will read the entirety of it. So
Oh, right.
that'll be
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
That should be
Supposedly,
We'll see.
I will
Highs and
because
lows, I'm
I have to
sure.
do the entire thing all at once. There will be less time to rant and less time to critique
True.
because it's already happened.
Yeah, you're not going to steam over it.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
just
fine.
I think it'll be more acceptable because Farm Heroes is obsessed with trying to end everything with a clincher, even though almost nothing happened. And some of their
Yeah.
clinchers is like, oh, she's now sick and critical, in life-threatening, needs life-threatening care. Next chapter, oh, she's fine again. Oh, okay, you know.
Well, yeah.
That's it.
Alright.
Yep.
Yep. Or it just goes off screen and, well, bye.
Yeah, like that stuff just drives you crazy because it's just like you just played us on purpose to try and drum up a little bit of interest. It's like clickbait titles. You won't believe how this man died, and then he never dies. You know what I mean?
Essentially the same thing in Faye.
But yeah, that'll be something, and I'm looking forward to next book because
I wonder what they'll do. It'd be a good Hunger Gap.
this might have been my least favorite book, not just because I'm not reading it, but none of the characters spoke to me. I don't know about you
That's
guys.
fair.
Nidhogger was the
I mean,
closest one.
it's sort of in the middle for me. I would say it started off pretty rough for me. I've liked it more as it
I've
went
liked
on.
it more since midpoint. I'll say that
Yeah,
much.
I agree.
Okay, well I haven't read it since midpoint, so boom.
Well, that's fair enough.
That's the thing, yeah.
No, but the thing is, you have to clinch people. You can't lose them. You can't take forever to get to a good part because they'll just lose interest.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, as
I
Killer
mean-
says, I don't care about any of the characters, so I don't care about their life and death situations.
That's also fair. Totally entitled to that. Yeah, no, I mean, I will say this much at the very least. Because midpoints are expected to introduce characters, it can be a little awkward when those characters are supposedly supposed to have been known this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, all four of them are siblings, or 5, I guess. But we see 2 of them for the first half, and then they're gone for most of the second half, and they're back.
Okay, well, you just point out why the story isn't interesting. Because you can fill in the blanks. I don't need to play the story to know, oh, secretly, they all care for each other and love each other so much, and it tears them apart to be against each other. Oh, no! You know, like, come on.
The horror.
What were they gonna do? But that's why I lost all interest, because last year was even worse with the Time Goddess, because I figured out by midpoint that she was trying to lose. Because she clearly wasn't trying to win, you know? And that was like such a big disappointment, because it was just like, surely they won't go with the most obvious thing. They went with the most obvious thing. Yeah, so.
Always expect the worst from Fae writers.
I'm hoping whatever next book is will be more interesting. At least in December, there's a level of hype in this game that we don't usually get. And this year, I don't think we even got that level of hype during COL, which was really disappointing. So I'm really hoping to be at least see that much and enjoy that much.
I will say, the one character I won't elaborate on, obviously for obvious reasons, but I do like Larother a lot more than I thought I would.
I can agree with that.
No.
Wow, I didn't
It
think you
also
liked
is-
trees.
I like.
Well, trees aren't too bad, but I just think he's interesting is all,
Cool design, too.
or is unique at least. Yeah, that's true. I like his design too, and voice. It's funny they just booked Jared's voice and they're like, oh, we'll throw this OC in there that's going to be in a few months anyway. Here we go. Same voice.
Their interpretation of Yggdrasil is really interesting, because
Yeah.
he's always interpreted as very slow, very calm, taking their time. Have you guys ever seen, like, in Lord of the Rings and seen like a Ent or
The tree ant.
is it tree ants?
Or yeah, the ants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's ant.
That's how they portray him, because you know that's a tree that's been around for a gazillion years would have no would have all the patience in the world, you know, like
Yep.
so this is a very different portrayal, but yeah, it's so different. That's why I can't remember his name, because he's supposed to represent Yggdrasil, but
Larother.
it does,
But that's...
yeah,
Larother is also part of Norse. It's...
a different character then.
I believe it's a tree that's associated with Yggdrasil.
Yeah, it's a different character.
Yeah, it's a tree in Norse often identified with Yggdrasil, so whether it is or isn't, it's kind of unclear. But sometimes it's interpreted as they're one and the same, sometimes they're different.
Okay. Well,
Norse moment.
I would like to point out, if we had a real Norse mythology professor or something play Fire Emblem Heroes, they would lose their shit. So,
I'm sure they would.
I mean...
Although apparently,
I
what's his name? Norm Macdonald didn't, which was kind of funny.
Norm Macdonald? I mean, rest his soul, but yeah, I remember that. That was crazy to me.
Yeah, it's still crazy.
Wait, what?
2018.
One of the
he
greatest,
played Faye.
one of the greatest Canadian comedians of all time played Faye. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know he played Faye, that's funny.
Yeah, he said, wasn't the tweet something like, I get all my Norse mythology from Faye or something like that? I can't remember what he said.
Yeah. and the biggest surprise I got was Kozaki Yusuke playing Faye. What?
Oh yeah, Kozaki
Oh, yeah,
Yusuke not
yeah.
only plays Faye,
Oh,
he's
no, wait,
ranked
that was-
1 in SDS.
that was,
sorry,
Yamada
Yamada
Kataro.
Kataro.
Sorry, Yamada.
Yeah, Yamada
sorry, I got
Kataro.
confused.
Even still,
I'm
that
sorry.
surprised me still. No,
Yeah,
that's
he's
fine.
rank 1 in
Yeah.
Summoner Duels S, which is bizarre.
You know why that surprises me? You know what the worst feeling as one of these service industry guys is, as one of these contractors for gacha games, is that they pay you all this money to make this shit, then you give that money right back to play the game. What the hell is the point then? You know? And you,
I mean,
you know, to be rank 1, there's no way to not spend cash at minimum. Come on.
I mean, with how many pieces of art Yamada Kataro has done for Faye, I feel like there's a little
Maybe
despair.
use some of that art money to buy orbs.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally just did Dogger on
Yeah.
this banner, past banner.
By the way, he is the only person associated with Fire Emblem Heroes that I've heard any news from in the past 3 years. I don't know if
It's been a
anyone
while
else.
since I've seen. I mean, I
The
see them
Pei
post
shows up
art,
every
but I
once in
don't
a
see
while,
them.
but
Oh, that's right. Ipe once in a while. I see
Okay.
them post their art, but I don't see them.
I don't
do
see them
it,
play the
like,
game.
much. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I've seen them
Oh,
play the
the
game
VAs.
before, but I also don't follow them as much.
That's right. We I think we raided Harkin's VA though back when his banner came out. I do remember that. He was-
Harkin came to us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He came to us. And then
Yeah,
we-
but no, I'm saying
Yeah.
like, ideally it'd be an actual staff, not like an artist, because
Oh,
they're
I see.
contracted. But I was saying like,
Yeah.
it's a giant mystery as to like if there's anyone who actually enjoys the game that they're working on. Which actually, that would explain a lot. They actually hate Fire Emblem Heroes. That's why they're not giving a shit.
Also here if you want it. By the way, here's the tweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's super cool that he actually did this because I'm sure you guys realize, one, he's Japanese, so he's against a lot of tryhards, and two,
Yep.
you know what? His box is not. Okay, no, it's pretty insane. It's not complete cancer. There's a lot of fairness to his box, actually.
Well, that's the
I've
thing. He
seen
apparently
worse.
the other 3 are all bait teams, is what he said in a later tweet.
So he really just wants to use his art team.
Yeah, it is 3 of his. Or no, it's actually just 2. It's Ethun.
Yeah, but,
and
you know,
Augur.
Idun's obviously like hyper invested.
Okay,
Yes.
let's not pretend not all his teams are. Hold on, actually, I'm surprised by the lack of merges on some of these heroes. Like I definitely thought
Yeah.
Felix would have more merges.
I
Definitely
think
thought
that's
Leon
why
would.
they're kind of baity.
Actually, almost nothing here does have any.
So he
think
probably
s-
is one of those players who just pulls on every banner, but he doesn't invest in them.
He
all.
pulls for meta. Yeah, he probably pulls because they're going to be meta, but he's not going to like hyper invest in anything unless it's his own art. Dogger obviously has merges already.
I think he has one favorite.
Yeah,
I can't believe
I mean,
Dune's there. That's clearly a favorite.
it's so definitely. It is also some of his most baller art in Faye, though, and I think he probably acknowledges that as well.
Yeah, she does.
He really seemed to like drawing a gun.
All right. By the way, even
Which
if
I
he's the
gotta
main artist, guys, you have no
not.
idea how little. Okay, sure, but I'm just trying to point this out. Even if he were the main artist, you don't get paid a lot for a game like Fire Emblem Heroes. They do not pay well. Remember, how do we know
Does
this?
show up a lot.
He does show up a lot, so there's frequency. That helps. But the reason we know they don't pay a lot is because they don't even hit voice actor guild limits.
Yeah,
That's why
true.
the VAs don't even show up sometimes, because they legally cannot take the contract. But you can bypass it by not being accredited. So there's a lot of hints that they're not paid well. And I think there's another hint. The fact that it's 3 arts with one that's an alternate for
most artists.
For most
some
artists.
Some artists do all 4 different, like
it's rare, but they
what's
do.
it? Akira Egawa, but yeah.
But I think they
Yeah.
do that because they want to, not because they're
Yeah,
getting paid
it's-
to.
Yeah, not
no,
because they
it's
have
not
to.
out of obligation.
It's the expectation. They have an expectation that they're probably outlined for 3 unique pieces of artwork, with the special artwork being. It can be a deviation of the main.
Yeah, but you
attacking.
know why they do that, right? They don't just say 4 individual pieces of art, because they would actually have to pay for 4 pieces of individual
4
art.
pieces of art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mhm.
so they're cutting corners to try and save money. I'm just saying,
Yeah, the artist's discretion.
Um,
It's been like that since day one.
Launch.
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, there's a lot of hints that the artist VAs, they're not being paid particularly well.
Yeah.
And I will say, fun fact, Yamada Kotaro's previous involvement with Fire Emblem, that was major. He did the manga for Binding Blade.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which is not what I expected, but yeah, that was what he was known for.
I actually really want to read the Fire Emblem manga. It's a very different experience because it's not our game. Which...
The manga I've heard, especially like, I think the Binding Blade one goes completely off the rails, but the genealogy one I've heard is also pretty good.
Okay.
Makes sense. The Binding Blade one is referenced in the actual game. They have a unique
They have
set of
three
weapons. Yeah,
relating to
a sword, a
the
lance, and a staff related to the manga. So that's like the only manga tie-in ever in Fire Emblem, and the Fire Emblem mainline game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. And yeah, Yamada Kotaro has done 26 heroes in Fae, so
Jeez.
pretty impressive.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, it is really impressive that he got to first. This is probably the most impressive thing I've seen from someone associated with Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can think of 5 things associated with people associated with Fire. To be honest,
That actually, especially that engage with the game.
Yeah. You know, that's
Those are ones.
that's the most surprising. It wasn't always like this. We talk about it a lot. The dev maps from year 1.
Oh, yeah.
That was among my most favorite memories of this game.
Miracle plus, my beloved. The dumbest map I've ever seen, but it was amazing.
I'm so surprised.
What really surprised me is that he actually knows the game. Because most people like most people who play the game that were involved with it,
No,
they
he
just played to have fun.
he's trying. Like, if you think about this,
These are real teams.
These are real teams. If you think about it, like, okay, well, obviously he has a preference for his own art, but like you can see the ideas of the teams. They're not random.
Right? Like, I mean, Team 2 makes Nurgle have full bonuses right off the bat,
Yeah.
for example.
He balances his
And-
teams out pretty well too. Like, Team 2 doesn't have a lot of reach, but that's okay because he has Mur and Robin
Yep.
and Nurgle to help out. So it's actually a lot more deceptively bulky. So he can actually afford to force people to walk into him or to run into him.
And it's like, you know, you ban teams 1 and 3, and he's just going to use Team 4, which, you know, Alphonse with Pathfinder, he's going to get in.
Yep, that's
That's
his biggest issue,
doing-
just getting in. Which actually isn't that big of an issue because he gets 1 extra movement.
Yeah, he has
Again,
4
what-
movements with 2 Pathfinders.
Why the hell is Hirschfelger not getting extra movement? It doesn't make shit sense. Whatever.
Well, she is, but not 2. Gallop
Well-
style.
She needs 2. That's the point.
She isn't a horse, she can't gallop. But yeah.
Right.
And
But
of course,
anyways,
Gatekeeper is my beloved.
I think his team 3 is the scariest one, but he'll never
his
get a
Team
deploy.
3, I would ban in an instant.
Yeah.
Screw that. And I, given that he supported Fjorm, I think he at least understands that team to be quite good. I feel like Celica just offers so much pressure, and I know Valentine's Leon fell off hard, but if you do not have the answers, you will still lose. He's not gone, just countered. Good.
Yeah. But yeah, no one expects this dude to be a legit player, but he actually is. So, anyways, that's
Yeah.
that. It's really interesting. I wish we had more news, more stuff like this.
Right? And it's always nice to see unusual stuff. Doug is really strong in duels after all.
I have no idea. Who the hell's Doug?
Doug.
Dogger.
Oh,
It got mistranslated.
my god.
Behold, everybody, Doug.
The power of Doug.
The Pathfinder of Doug.
Alright, well, I'm gonna raid someone and call a night. I haven't made my schedule for this week, but we're playing some actual horror games this week, so I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, fun.
Oh yeah, Halloween is actually coming up.
Yeah. We watched Uzumaki last week. Oh my god.
Oh.
If you guys haven't seen it, you can watch episode 1. And episode 1
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought was fairly good. But
Hmm.
by the end of it, I was depressed. I was dizzy. I don't know what I was watching. That's how I felt by the end of it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I vaguely remember seeing parts of this, and wow, yeah, this That's an experience that you sign up for. There is what you get.
Absolutely. All right, guys, gonna rate someone and call it night. Thank you guys so much for being here. When's the next time we're showing up?
Here? Tomorrow, if you do data mine. Otherwise,
I just know. Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah,
There's not
all
much to
nothing.
cover, but yes, glad we could be here.
it wouldn't be a big one to tell you that. Otherwise, by the looks of it, so banner's in a week, roughly. Let me double check the date, because I'm bad at calendar stuff. So the Tempest Trials is on the 5th, so 4th Cap Day. No, sorry, 4th would be... Yeah, so Sunday? I think is when we'll get the update. Like the next trailer. Update notification between the 30th to the 2nd.
Perfect. Thank you for letting me know.
Also, daylight savings time is coming up, so
Yes!
get ready for that.
Well,
That'll be nice. 2 a.m. resets. 10 a.m.
Actually, wait,
trailers.
daylight savings is on November 3rd, so the calendar is already going to be screwed up.
Oh,
okay.
So maybe it's the day after?
It's good to have
Monday?
it that way. Anyways,
2 a.m. resets? Please. 10 and p.m. trailers, please.
all right. By the way, if you guys didn't know, if you subscribe to someone on Twitch, you get 3 months of Discord Nitro, which is kind of crazy because
That's kind of nuts.
a sub is worth more than a sub is worth less than 3 months of Nitro, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And we're gonna do some stuff for Halloween. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. But thank you guys for being here. Have a great night. I'll see you guys next time. We're gonna rate Night Shadow. Night Shadow.
Good night, all.
Have a great night.
Good night, chat.
Glad to be here. See y'all next time. This time I'll hopefully actually be there.
I'm not sure I'm doing down mine because lately the down mines have been just whatever. There's been like.
I
no
mean, the
point to
last...
it.
I will say with this one, there is literally next to no point because we already know the inheritance restrictions now. They're announcing those now. So
Yeah, there's only
not a big
anyone
deal.
on bet against Super Boon and Speed. Come on.
She has 48 speed, so 50-50.
True.
Could be a
Well,
speed thing.
even if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I was just off at 1
Yeah,
speed.
oh no.
No.
Oh no, they also showed her stats, so we really only need to know those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not very exciting. It wasn't back in the day. They didn't release the stats on the page, which, by the way, what a moronic decision. What the fuck?
They don't do it all the time, but they do it so often nowadays. Yeah, the data mine does not nearly matter.
No,
as
but
much.
like the summons, there was no way to see the stats of the heroes we were summoning for.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be normal, so people had to check data mines. Otherwise, they had no idea what they were pulling for.
Yep. Or, yeah, they'd have to check third-party source. Even if they checked the maps, they wouldn't be accurate.
Yeah. What stopped Faye for letting people play with the heroes first before they pull from? I don't know. It's just normal industry stuff, but they don't.
Well, now that's the tactics.
I mean, now, yeah, we have tactics drills for that.
Master.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess sure. All right, good night, you two.
That's sort of.
all right,
Good
have a good
night.
night, and I will be here next time. So,
That's right. I should be here as well.
Okay.
all right.
Take care.
Yeah.
Adios.